Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Bruce here. Welcome to August the 2nd, 2021 here on Stock Markets with Bruce. It's your buddy Uncle Bruce here to figure out what's going on in the markets in plain English. That is our shtick here. That is our game plan.
It's your
We're trying
buddy
to figure
Uncle
out what's
Bruce here.
happening out there.
To
What does it mean? What does the future mean? What did it mean when I said what to my boss? What does that mean? Why won't he talk to me anymore? And why am I in the basement? Welcome one, welcome all. I'm glad I don't have a boss like I used to have a boss. But mind you, I've never really had that many bosses in my lifetime, to be honest. Not that many. Most of the time, many a time, I've found myself working for, quote, myself. Um, because I'm the best motivator I've got. And then other people, there were a few people that I worked for, not too many, a few, but not too many that motivated me like I could motivate myself. Kind of wonder how that's going for you guys. Are you self motivated, or do you need to be in a team environment? Can you handle it on your own, or do you need to be part of a team or collaborative group? What about this whole year and a half now? Have you guys been able to self motivate? Is it from panic? That's sometimes a good motivator. Complete, utter panic. Uh, that's one of those things. Anyway, what can I say? Bruce, you should be put in jail, says Russell Stone. Thanks, Russell, for coming by. You are ruining lives. Thank you, Russell, for popping in and saying hi to us here on this wonderful Monday morning. It's a shame, he says. It's a shame that I'm ruining lives and I should be put in jail. Well, good Monday morning to you too. Doesn't look like you're a subscriber. It doesn't look like you're a member. So Russell, why should I care? Really? Wow. Maybe you can go to another channel and harass somebody else. But then again, I'm allowing you to come in and harass me, so maybe it's my fault. What can I say? Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's nice to have you here. Even some haters. It's what can I say? Russell, better pick stocks, bro. Yeah, yep. Anyway, good morning, everybody from around the world with Bruce here in Creston, British Columbia. Where we're here in Creston, we are getting some rain around here. Drizzle the last 24 hours, off and on, much higher humidity numbers. Oh my gosh, it feels so humid outside. We love it. I'm just hoping, I've got my fingers crossed that this whole thing is, this whole moisture thing is happening all around us by hundreds and hundreds of miles. That's what what I'm doing. I picked what Bruce told me to, says Russell Stone. I didn't tell you to pick anything. I told you to make up your own mind and decide for yourself the risk tolerances you can handle in the market. I explain markets plain English, and then I throw you my favorites, and then you make up your mind what you want to do. Russell, I didn't twist your arm to make you buy any particular stock or any particular strategy. You have to be an investor as well, not a flipper. And maybe that's what you are. Maybe you're just a flipper and you're not an investor, and you can't handle the heat. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Just tough times. Wolfgang, hey, thanks, Wolfgang. This is nice of you to do that. Appreciate the donation. Very much. Hiya, bud. Well, summer's almost over, so I'm back in the game. Just up my securities a bit for the fall. There you go. Right on. Yeah, welcome on. Had a very good weekend this weekend. My daughter was here with her guy, and they spent about 4 days with us, which was really nice. And they headed home yesterday, and they arrived safe and sound. And it was nice to get together with her. When you get older, you really reflect a lot more. It's difficult when you get older. And one of the difficulties, I guess I should say, one of the difficulties of getting older is you find yourself in the position that your parents used to be in. That's a revelation. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's hard to take. Sometimes it's really revealing and it's eye-opening. I remember the house that we're in, Jennifer and I. The house we're in right now here in Crescent. This was my mom and dad's house, And this house was built in the 70s and it was well built. And we had a major renovation done on this house just before we acquired it from my mom. And we took it from a grandma house to a house of people living here a little more active than my mom was. Again, not a surprise. She was in her 80s, and we're in our early 60s when we took over this house. Anyway, Jennifer and I and our daughter used to come here once or twice a year to visit my mom and dad. And I was the 40-something-year-old son, the probably the 38. How old would I have been? 37, 38-year-old son with his 4 or 5-year-old daughter and Jennifer visiting mom and dad. And of course, my father would have been at that time about 60 something, where I am now. And I he'd be asking me, how you doing? And I'd be telling him how I'm doing, and he'd be telling me how he's doing. But fast forward a number of years, and mom and dad are both gone, and we're now the eldest, and our daughter's in her 30s, and she comes out here about once every 6 months or so. And you're just going, whoa, whoosh, swish. And when that happens to you as an adult, when that happens to you as a parent, it is a slap in the side of the head. It's a dope slap. You wake up quick and you're going, whoa, I'm the eldest, and they're coming to visit us. And you quickly realize what it was like for your parents now that you're the parent in this scenario. And it is a revelation. It was wonderful, and we're very pleased. But this was probably the last time that our daughter will visit us here, because Jennifer and I are packing up. She's noticed all the boxes. She's very much in favor of what we're doing, because we're going to move ourselves towards Calgary, where she lives, and so she's quite excited and happy that mom and dad are going to be closer to her. And so, of course, Jennifer's over the moon excited. Can't wait. I'm optimistic, and but I also know the job at hand that we have in front of us. Oh gosh! But we were able to convince the kids to take a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So we kind of offloaded some stuff onto the child, but she kind of looked at me. Well, yeah, I do want that. I don't want this, but I do want this one. And it's kind of like forcing your child to uh, how do you say this? You're forcing the child to grow up, and you're saying to him, "Hey, we're getting on. We're not like ancient old. We're not like 95 old, but we're getting up there, and things can change one heartbeat away. You never know. Take stuff from this house that it might not seem important to us, but might seem very important to you, emotionally and family. And then other times it's the other way around, where you say to the child, take a look at this stuff. I think you should really keep this. This is from your youth, or this is from when we were a much younger family. Who knows, in 10, 15, 20 years, we may not be here together anymore. Here's some stuff. You get them to think, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And we're kind of going, you're the next one. You're the next gen. This is the next generation. You're going to take it on from here. And it's time for you to take it on. And from time to time, my mom and dad would say to my Jennifer and I, "Oh, you should take this with you. Take this home with you. Some family heirlooms." When my parents were in their 50s, 40s, and 50s, there was no way they would give up any of their family heirlooms. And as they got older, that began to shift, especially my father, because for some reason he had this premonition. He just knew that he's in his last decade. He just felt it. He never said it, but he just he started acting like it. And you just kind of go, hey, am I going to argue with this guy? He's been right pretty well my whole life. But yeah, it does happen. The turnover does happen. A lot of you out there who are much younger than I am are probably in a scenario where your parents are aging out. They're aging out on you. They've retired perhaps, or they've just retired. or they've been retired for a while. Some of you who are a little older have noticed your parents have really pulled back on their activity levels. Um, a number of you have helped your parents get into assisted living centers, or you have help coming into the house. Fantastic. Yeah, it's the next stage. It's the never ending circle of life, and oh man, it's sometimes it's hard to accept and hard to to take, but it is what it is, and you got to look after yourselves too, and that's the bottom line. If you look after yourselves, you delay the inevitable, but the inevitable comes for all of us. But if you don't look after yourselves, the inevitable can sneak up on you and just take you out when you didn't expect it, or anyone else or a relative of didn't either. And we get those calls from time to time. Now, the older you get these phone calls that you just don't want to get, or you get a text now, or whatever, and it's a brother, a sister, a cousin, an uncle, a niece, whatever, whoever it is, someone contacting you said, just heard that so and so is no longer with us, and you're going, whoa, that's out of left field. We weren't expecting that. And the older we get, the more we're hearing this stuff. Sometimes it's very much expected. Yeah, they've been ill a long time, and boy, maybe they're resting now. But the circle of life, throw it at you, and keep it in mind. Speaking of the circle of life, it's all good here. Jan and I are fine. We're good. I'm not looking at my last decade. Neither is Jen. We're fine. We're excited. We're pumped up. We are packing. Jen is really leading the charge here. She is going through so much crap. So much crap as we, you know, pare it down, but it's still weeks and weeks. We have a realtor coming in here, I think Wednesday. We have a real estate agent coming in to have a chat with us. If we've already been sent sort of market reports about how houses are doing around here and all that stuff. So we're going to find out how things look and what things are going to go on. This past weekend was one of my most relaxing weekends I've had in months. I did not take on any private consultations this past weekend. All I did on Saturday and Sunday was I had a class on Saturday and a class on Sunday, and that's all I did. So I only had to work about 3 hours each day to prep the class, do the class, and then work it out after the class. And each class went really well. I really enjoyed these two classes, talking about more option strategies, and a few other things. So that was really great. And the group who was with me live, we had questions and answers going back and forth. Really great. But what I'm beginning to notice from some of you folks out there talking to me, and this is great. This is good stuff. You guys are starting to use lingo I've never heard you use before. You're starting to talk to me like you know what you're talking about. Some of you are starting to ask me questions that like we work in the same office together, and you know the lingo. You know what the lingo means, and some of you are really getting into this stuff, which I'm excited about. I'm excited for you. I'm excited with you. And it makes Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays exciting because we can't wait to get started again. Because as you are learning more and more and more about the markets, that every week that you spend with me, either live or in these classrooms, these classes, whether you watch me live on a class or you watch my reruns, it's up to you. Just go to the website if you want to watch any of the first, what have I got now? 6 lessons are up, and 2 more will be up in a couple more days. So you'll have 8 lessons to start to look at your leisure on my website, stockmarkerswithbruce.ca. The more you learn from that, you'll learn so much from these classes. These 2-hour sessions, just jam-packed full of stuff. The more you learn, the more you're going to diversify your investment strategy. And the more you're going to diversify your investment strategy, the more you're going to get away from the one and done thing, which is, I buy this stock and then I wait for it to go up. There are ways to take advantage of markets that do well, not do well, just kind of hang around, you name it. And we've been going into this, and more and more of you are beginning to figure out, this makes sense. I now understand what he talks about when this guy, Uncle Bruce, talks about these 80-story tall buildings in New York, or these 40-story tall towers in Manhattan, filled floor after floor after floor, filled with thousands and thousands of hedge fund employees and ETF employees and mutual fund people and investment bankers and brokers and you name it, for all the insurance companies out there, and all these trusts, and the unions, and the pension funds. It just an army of millions of people who are involved in the investment business from every angle. And you're beginning to realize, oh my God, there's so many angles in this business. You're beginning to understand that, wow, now we understand why and how these buildings exist in downtown Manhattan. I mean, the generation of wealth is unbelievable. And you're also putting it together with regards to, well, is it any wonder that these investment bankers have lobbyists in Washington? Well, of course, they're going to look after their constituents' needs, which are, the investment bankers are going to have investment bankers, consultants, and promoters in Washington. Yeah, the consultancy business is massive. It's a multi-billion-dollar a year business, and every senator, every congressman, every committee member of all these different committees are constantly hit up by these outfits, including in the state level. Can you imagine New York State and other states of the United States? How many lobbyists there are just hounding state government officials? It's unbelievable, and corporate America is expert. Corporate America is absolutely the world leaders in having lobbyists work on their behalf. And so you'll note from time to time, and you'll begin to put it together. You're going, yeah, oh, I see what's going. I see a news story about company blah 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 being pursued by the Justice Department, and then a few weeks later, I see all kinds of stories about all kinds of senators and congressmen and others talking the opposite of what the Justice Department is trying to do to these companies, because it's not good for America, or it's not good for competition, or it's not good for free enterprise, or government shouldn't be involved in all of our. You got these opposing forces, all for their for their own good, and we're in the middle going, well, who do you believe? Who's right? Who's wrong? What's the deal here? And the markets just keep chugging along, and we are trying to figure out who makes more money than anybody else, and who do I invest in and why. And the smartest corporations out there, the ones who've got their acts together, are the ones you never hear about in the news in any kind of controversial way, and they're the ones who can handle controversy the best. They're the ones who can handle it smoothly and address it and move on. And these are the firms that have the most lobbyists, or the most effective lobbyists, in state capitals and country capitals around the world, to make sure everything is smooth. And this is an area of the budget of these public companies you never get to see. It really is inside of selling and administrative expenses, or other type expenses that aren't itemized all that much by the auditors. And so the lobby budget for corporate America, corporate Canada, corporate UK, corporate Europe, any corporation out there, billions and billions of dollars, hundreds of billions a year, to lobby their existing rule makers, policy makers, banking committees, SECs, keeping it all smooth and keeping it all good, allowing business to continue on where it's going well, and to make changes where it's not going well. And oh, by the way, we think we have some competition coming from over here we don't like. We have to nullify these guys, and we'll find a way to make life difficult for the newbies coming into this game, so that we oldies can just keep on raking in the cash. It is a fascinating world. Once in a while, Hollywood will make a movie about a piece of this or a piece of that. The behind the scenes corporate intrigue that goes on, absolutely fascinating. But a lot of you who are watching my classes, I guess I get the impression that you're beginning to pick up more and more nuances of how this market works and how interconnected the stock markets are to the rest of the planet. And if you really want to be a successful investor, you have got to be able to put the dots together between what's happening in Europe, Asia, the USA, and North America, South America, Africa, everywhere else. You have to absorb all of this information. You have to be open to absorbing it to get a handle on just what's going to happen domestically. Because the US market reacts to global events simply because corporate America is global. Corporate America does business around the world. It doesn't do business just in the state of Maryland and Ohio. Corporate America does business all over the world in a general sense. Not every single company, obviously, but many. And so there are companies in the United States that depend on foreign made parts that must be brought into the US for final assembly for whatever the product might be, or it's the reverse. Parts made in America go to foreign plants for final assembly for global distribution. And it's not uncommon to hear where you're hearing talk about, oh, this car or this truck or this vehicle or whatever, this company, they have 50 different countries that they make parts in. A vehicle you buy at the so-and-so dealership in your hometown has parts made in 50 different countries to assemble this thing. And in 1955, after the war, a Cadillac Eldorado was assembled and built entirely in North America. Between Canada and the USA, that was it. That was where all the parts came from. That's where all they went to. And that was the end of that. Of course, as time went on, the cost of manufacturing in the United States and Canada went higher on a per living capita basis. And corporate America, being as sharp as it is, started to figure out, well, we could make these parts over here for 1/10 the price or 1/5 the price, ship them back to us assembled, and we just install them into our vehicles or into our dishwashers or our refrigerators or air conditioning systems or televisions or whatever you make. We can just reassemble it here, finalize it, and we've just cut our cost of operations by 12% or 4% or 3%. If you have a multi-billion-dollar company and you can reduce the cost of being in business by 1% a year, you are incredibly efficient. And so corporate America became expert at being able to have parts made elsewhere and brought back virtually duty-free under the guise of job creation. And you would have parts come in for certain items that would normally bring in a duty, in other words, a tax to the American public. But they would now come in at virtually tax-free or a greatly reduced tax because the corporation would convince policymakers in Washington, you should allow us to bring in these condensers for these air conditioning systems because it represents the saving of 5,000 jobs in Baltimore or the preservation of jobs in Ohio or Pennsylvania or wherever. And they began to use this little tactic to persuade lawmakers to give exemptions to companies to literally farm work out overseas, allow the parts to come back in without any pain or having to pay for it. No, nothing. And in effect, we're saving jobs by keeping 2,000 jobs in Pennsylvania rather than the 5,000 we used to have. We're still keeping 2,000, so you should reward us. When in reality, wait a minute, you guys just got rid of 3,000 jobs, and I'm helping you do that by, hey, but of course, politicians are part-time employees. They're only around for a while, and then they get voted out, depending on who they are. And, after all, corporate America makes the biggest donations to politicians, so why would a politician argue with a corporate entity that has a bottomless pit of money? And that's going to be around decade after decade, long after these political parties come and go and come and go. This is the world. You have to learn this as part of your investment strategy. I heard this morning an interesting thing, talking about the China thing again. This isn't going to go away, by the way. One of the analysts I just heard a few minutes ago talking about Apple's little problem. Apple has a problem in that our friends at this corporation right here out of Cupertino, California, uh, great products. I mean, I love this stuff. But unfortunately for Apple, for them to have iPhones made somewhere else and iPads and computers and whatever product they have being made now in China, they want to get out and they want to start producing products elsewhere. The difficulty they have is with $80 billion in sales every 3 months, which is almost $1 billion a day in sales. Think about that. Okay, $1 billion a day in sales. In order to leave China and set up a plant in Vietnam or India or somewhere else. And why am I saying these countries, Vietnam and India? And why am I not saying, hey, how about Apple open up a 2 million square foot production facility somewhere in the United States of America and produce this product that Americans buy up like you can't believe, and Canadians, we love this stuff. Why don't you open up plants in Canada and the United States for this stuff? Well, it's pretty simple. If you open up a plant in Canada, the USA, no matter what kind of tax breaks the government gives you, I mean, no, you can imagine the states in the USA, how many states would fight each other for an Apple manufacturing center? I mean, the giveaways they would make, which of course screws their own citizens, out of billions of dollars in taxes. In any event, they would give away gazillions of dollars in incentives to get Apple to come over. Doesn't matter. Apple looks at the cost of the manufacturing of this item, no matter what they don't pay to open up a factory. And they go, yeah, problem is in Canada, the minimum wage in Canada is quickly going to $15 an hour plus benefits. And those Canadians, they're crazy up there. They got they've got this healthcare thing. Like, everyone in Canada is entitled to healthcare as a human right. I mean, we're not going to go there. Are you kidding me? The cost is ridiculous. Yes, our workers would be healthy. That would be true. I mean, the number of sick days that they would be fewer, and the longevity of their lifetime is longer than Americans. So, okay. But in America, of course, you may not have quite that problem, but you do have this copay thing and this health thing. I mean, there's issues. But then you've got these other concerns like pension requirements, maybe unionization. You might go to states where the unions are literally outlawed from existence, although they don't say it, to avoid that. But the bottom line is to produce this in a country like China that isn't third world, but the people working there are paid third world wages because, of course, they're victims of their own government. Or Vietnam or India, you can make a telephone like this for $50, $60. You can crank these things out super cheap because you're cranking out millions of them. I mean, produce one of these is a fortune, but to produce 10 million of them a year or 20 million, super cheap per unit. But if the difference in price is $10 a phone in cost for the U.S. manufacturing versus India, it wouldn't be such a big deal. You could kind of find a way to finagle $10 in discounts from the federal government or something, or state government in taxation write-offs and stuff. But it doesn't work that way. You cannot produce a phone for $10 more in the U.S. than it would be in India. It might be triple the price. So it might run you $150 to produce this $1,500 retail telephone or whatever it was. So the markup sounds great. You spend $150 to get $1,500, still sounds great, doesn't it? But if you can spend $50 to make $1,500, greater. And remember, Apple is up against all the other phone manufacturers. It's not like Apple is the only game in town. There's the Samsung phones and the other brands, and where are they made? In China, South Korea, Vietnam, India, Indonesia. That's where they're all manufactured. It's not like Samsung is going to open up a U.S. factory. It's not like Toshiba or Sony or all these guys are going to open up manufacturing centers in Dearborn, Michigan, or Columbus, Ohio, or Akron or somewhere in Pennsylvania or in the Virginias. They're not going to do that. Are you kidding me? The cost of opening up these centers and running them and staffing them long term, you got to have 50 years of solid guarantees that if you're going to spend $1 billion or $2 billion to build out a facility and then another couple of billion in staff commitments, you got to have 50 years of guarantees that you're going to get your money back, because that's what corporate America does. It's not stupid. Corporate America is extremely smart. But they know they can go to a dictatorship type country like China, and they can cut deals with those guys, and they're always going to be there. They don't have to worry about elections, having a left wing party take over or a right wing party take over. Now you're dealing with a dictator. He's always going to be there, and his cronies are waiting. They got the next 10 guys figured out who's going to take over. So it's very stable government from that point of view. I mean, oppress the people to the millionth degree, arrest a guy in Hong Kong for flying a flag on a motorbike and put him in jail for 9 years. I mean, it's really good. If you're a corporate America, corporate Europe, corporate Canada, to deal with these guys is really consistent. You know exactly where they stand and how they're going to operate. And as long as you're happy with that kind of, totalitarianism and whatever, it's all good. And from a business point of view, it's great. It is great because the policies are there. You don't have to worry about pollution standards. You don't have to worry about, protests outside of your factory. You don't have to worry about, picket lines from unions. None of that kind of stuff. That's all illegal. So for business, it's great. You can make this stuff for cheap, cheap, cheap and import it into the United States for duties on a $50 manufacturing cost. And here's where it's beautiful. You get to sell this little sucker for $1,000, $1,200, depending on how much memory's in here, how many bells and whistles are in here. $1,500 these things can go for, up to that. And they offer it to you on a 2 or 3 year plan, and nothing down. You just pay, $40 a month, $50 a month, and the money just keeps rolling in. And hey, why would you want to change where you make your product? Are you kidding me? This corporate America is not stupid. Corporate America is extremely adept and very smart, and really doesn't want to get into politics like me. It really doesn't want to. But unfortunately, the observer that I am, I have to help you observe what's going on out there. Now, if the China thing keeps getting ugly, and it's been getting ugly now the last couple of months, last 6 months, this continues to keep getting ugly, it's going to get more uncomfortable for companies like Apple, because eventually, maybe, possibly, there might be a backlash from a consumer. There might be consumer backlashes against companies that produce products in China. The only way you're going to get the Chinese to change their ways, only way will be if outside forces create it. Certainly not going to come from inside China. You're not going to get the people revolting and rising up against the Chinese regime. I mean, they probably got a spy, a secret spy, and every fifth person reports to the secret police. So that's not going to happen. So it's got to come from outside forces. And the Chinese, they have a tendency to react to economic scenarios. Like, we don't have enough money to buy enough food to feed our people. That's a problem. That's a big problem here, and we're going to deal with that. If all of a sudden import duties go really stupidly high and stay high, or if the consumer of America and consumers in Europe and consumers in Canada and Mexico and everywhere in the world where Chinese goods are available begin to say, made in China, I'm not buying it. Not made in China, I'm not buying it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to buy made in Vietnam product. I'll buy made in Indonesia, but I'm not buying made in China. If that began to happen, the Chinese would find their currency under tremendous stress, their banking system under unbelievable stress. Container ships sitting in harbors all over Asia with nothing to do. All of a sudden, layoffs would be everywhere, and that would be a problem for the Chinese hierarchy, because as long as you keep people hungry and working, in other words, you work to feed yourself, and so you have to work to keep feeding yourself. You haven't got time to protest, because if you protest, you get hungrier. So you're better off working so you keep your belly full, and you have a little bit of money to maybe make that trip once a year to another region in China to visit relatives and so on. And slow but surely, you can pick up new consumer goods here and there. That is progress. That is where people go, oh, my life's getting better. My standard of living is getting better. And for my children, it's going to be better. You think that way as a society works well. But when society goes, hey, no matter how hard I work, no matter how hours I slave away here, and all the courses I've taken and all the knowledge I've gained, all I have is enough food in the fridge for 3 days, and we don't have any reserves. And in reality, I notice our top leaders, even here in the city, the mayor and all the cronies that run this town and this region and this province and then the state of, they're doing great. They're doing fantastic. But the rest of us 1.2 trillion billion people, we're not getting by at all. When they begin to feel that, they kind of go, "Hey, what am I doing this for? Why am I killing myself? I'm just going to go through the motions. I'll go to work. I'll keep going, but I'm not going to be the guy that excels anymore. I'm not going to be the employee of the month guy anymore. I'm just going to go through the motions because I'm fed up." And when the entire factory does that, efficiencies start to drop off. And when efficiencies start to drop off, you've got huge, huge problems. And this is exactly what happened in Eastern Europe in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, when in the Soviet Union and in Poland and in Czechoslovakia and Yugoslavia and all the Belarus and the Ukraines and the Hungaries and Romanias and all of these Eastern Bloc states all found that their employees, their efficiency numbers, their industrial plant efficiency ratings were dropping. And against the West, they were a joke. They were an absolute joke. Quality was garbage. Output was low. And the governments of the East could not put enough dough into their factories to modernize them up. They needed the human capital. They had to keep humans busy because, after all, unbusy humans are problems. These are people that ask for change, and we don't want change if you're at the top. The entire Eastern Bloc collapsed on itself because it just couldn't keep up with the Western standards, and the Eastern governments could not scare their employees to be more efficient. At the moment, it's working beautifully in China. China has got it going on. They're able to keep motivating their people to keep them going and working hard because they are moving ahead from a poverty scenario or a farm kind of work life now to urban. But that can only go so far until eventually enough of these folks will go, "I'm not going to put out like I put out before. This is crap. I'm noticing my savings are getting wiped out." Or, in effect, a lot of Chinese businesses have been borrowing money on the corporate market to fund their operations. The problem, of course, is corporate entity number one is borrowing money from investors to do business with corporate entity number 2, 3, and 4 that are all state owned. And 2, 3, and 4 are all doing business with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that are all state owned. And so this is all a monopoly thing. It's all just a giant Ponzi scheme. And as long as the system keeps running, all the companies can borrow money from all these investors and keep paying their loans. The thing is that investors are very smart people, and certain investors are saying to these certain factory owners, "We'll lend you money to do what you're doing, but we want 8% interest, 7% interest. We're not going to give you 2% interest loans because you guys are the riskiest investor in the entire scheme, because one little government policy change, you're out of business. And there's no protection for you because you happen to be located in a city of 5 million people that none of us have heard of on the outside world, because we only know about Beijing, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. You're in a small little provincial area with 5 million people, and you don't matter to the big picture. And if your bribes aren't good enough anymore for the local officials, you might be out of business in no time, which puts your bonds in default." Well, you multiply this little factory by thousands of others that are all in the same boat. You've got a system that is run on bribes and payoffs and all kinds of intimidation, where there are trillions of dollars on the line with high interest rates. And you folks ask me all the time, "Hey, when's the next crash coming, Uncle Bruce? I hear there's a crash coming. What's going to cause it?" And you wonder, is it a U.S. thing that's going to cause it, or Canada, or is it a Europe thing? And I'm going to say no, not Canada, not USA, not Europe. Why? Because Canada, the USA, Europe, and Western democracy countries in Asia are pumping trillions of dollars into their economies to grow them up and get them going. Where in China, that's the problem. You have a black hole there where you don't know what's going on because you can't see the bribes. You can't see how much money they're paying off to local officials for licensing and permits and all this to be in business. Bribes. You don't see it. It's all buried. And the U.S. regulators have caught on to this whole thing and have begun to go public with it. It's not that the American regulators just figured it out. They've always known about it. It's now such a prevalent problem that U.S. regulators are going, enough, enough. We want to see the books. We want to see China listed companies in the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ Exchange, U.S. markets. We want to see the books of how you operate. And the Chinese authorities are going, you can't, we're not going to let you do that. Why not? National security. Why is it national security? Do you want the answer? I'm not going to give you the Chinese, I'm not going to give you the answer they're going to give you. I'm going to give you the real answer. Why would the Chinese government open up books of all of these plants and factories and outfits where they're all paying bribes to their local communist officials and regulators all the way up the chain, including China, including Beijing? Why would these guys be allowed to show the Western world how corrupt these guys are? I mean, hello, no, we're not going to let you do that. That's national security, and that's the end of the story. We're not going any further. Well, sooner or later, the outside world goes, yeah, this is not how we do business out here. It doesn't work. We have actual laws in place in Canada, the US, and Europe where you can go to jail paying bribes for officials. You have to report this stuff. And we not only put the factory people, the corporate people in jail, we put the guys receiving the bribes in jail too, or at least threaten them with jail. But it doesn't work that way in China because in China, the guys at the top don't have to worry about going to jail. They are the courts. The judges are handpicked friends of senior level policy people to rule on any issues, and there's never a trial for senior government officials with regards to bribery. You hear about it once in a while, but what you hear about is Zhang Jinping, whatever his name of the guy running China, doesn't like this guy anymore, so he has him charged with bribes. And then, of course, the guy is found guilty in a secret trial. You never hear from him again. The reality is that they're all paid off. They're all being bribed out. They're all being compensated. Families of all of these officials are living the life of luxury, traveling the world with unlimited expense account. And they will never go to jail because they are the courts. They are the law, and they run the show. So our friends in China have a little problem on their hands, and that is the Western world is kind of going, enough's enough. This is crap. You guys are cheating the system. You're crushing your own people to enjoy the good life. And the top 1% in China do very, very well indeed. And they want to keep it going. Now, don't think that America is all good, Canada's all good, Europe is all good, and China's all bad. There are a lot of North Americans and Europeans, in other words, non-Chinese people who are hired by Chinese money as analysts and as consultants, lobbyists, to keep everything going just the way it's been going. And this is in every country in the world, every capital of the world, many major state capitals or provincial capitals around the world, and major cities. Believe me, the influence that the Chinese have for their business is just as good as the Americans have and the Europeans have around the world. Do not be fooled. How many lobbyists work for General Motors? How many lobbyists work for the Siemens Group out of Germany? How many lobbyists work for the largest French corporations, the UK corporations, Canadian corporations? We're all guilty of this, but the Chinese have, from a state perspective, an incredible machine of lobbyists everywhere. And they're not Chinese people. They're locals. They're locals who are acting on behalf of an employer, that is actually funded by the Chinese. A lot of local lobbyists who think they're acting on the behalf of company whatever don't realize that their paycheck is actually issued out of Beijing. They don't know it, and they don't care to know it, or they kind of suspect, but they don't care because the money's good. The money is really good, and these checks just don't bounce. Anyway, when you want to suppress 1.3 billion people, and you have a lot of money to deal with. Just think about it. If you had a firm with 100 employees, and you were paying them $10 an hour when you should be paying them $20 an hour, because that's the kind of work they're giving you. You're getting $10 an hour in your pocket from 100 people every day, every day, all year long for years and years and years, and you're a millionaire in no time. These folks are just, they're the oppressed, uneducated folks that you can hire a dime a dozen on, and so you only pay them 10 when you should be paying them 20. Hey, what can I say? It's the market. It's just the way it is. Yeah, well, there it is. That's the way. But if you can do that with 1.3 billion people, you can take, all their efforts and scoop out, 20, 40, 50% of the wealth that they should be having for yourselves. That can go a long way to run an entire outfit. That is the highest tax rate in the entire world. I mean, just think about half of the economy of China going to the top Communist Party to do whatever they want to do as they see fit, plus the bribes on top of that. My gosh, life is good. Anyway, that's just old man Bruce talking here in Creston. I don't want to upset you, but this is the way it is, and you gotta just open up your eyes to the big picture out there. There's a lot going on that ain't pretty, and it just happens, and it keeps happening and happening, and it's generational and generational, and the public gets used to it. They get absolutely used to the way this is being done. This is the way it's going to go, and that's all she wrote. There you have it. In the USA and Canada, yeah, there's issues, but nothing like elsewhere. Nothing at all. But it's not perfect, and not perfect anywhere you go. Let's be frank. There is no utopia on this planet Earth. There isn't one. The question that you have to ask yourself is, well, can I tolerate what I have to tolerate, and does it work for me and my family? That's it. And thankfully, I say, for I think a majority of you who are watching me, thankfully, a vast majority of you are not in communist China. You are not in Belarus, where you got a leader that won't get out, who was stuffing ballot boxes to 85%. You're not in certain regions of the world where it's pretty nasty and pretty ugly. Vast majority of you are in places where you can make a go of it. And the harder you work, the better off you'll be. More power to you. And I welcome you to the show. Thank you all for being here. It's nice to have you here. Thank you, all of you who've joined me this morning from around the world. I appreciate this. And again, to all of you out there who are watching me today, some of you are here from North America, Canada, the USA, Europe. Love it. I'm glad that you're following us and you're with us. Appreciate it so much. Please consider becoming a member of this channel if that's possible. I would love to have you become a member of this channel and join us as a member, so that we can send you special alerts from time to time on stocks we like to follow, or new news that you should be aware of. Thank you, all of you who have been enjoying our classes. Jennifer and I have been enjoying it very much, to spend some really neat time with you Saturdays and Sundays on these sessions. We've enjoyed going over various investment techniques and all kinds of stuff that you can learn about. Really cool bean stuff, and we appreciate you, and your reactions and your comments and everything else. I'm going to shift the show now to members only comments, because that's one of the benefits of being a member of this channel. You get to send us notes and talk to each other through the live chat as a member. Those of you who are not members, please consider becoming a member. I would love to have you join the group here. We appreciate all of you so much, and we're grateful that as so many of you continue to renew your memberships every month to stay members. I absolutely love it. Thank you for the 243 thumbs ups, by the way, already. Appreciate that too. Very nice little start to the day. GameStop shares, I'm showing up $1.29. We're going to open up here in about 11 minutes, and we'll talk a little bit about what's happening here. We're up 83 points on the Dow, up 16 on S&P. We're up 69 on NASDAQ. So we have a positive start today. I'm kind of expecting a positive week this week because it's a new month. We just got through July here. I noticed that how we were grinding the last few days of July out because of the fact that I believe that there were people who were down on the month in the overall markets all over the place, and some were winning, some were losing. And at the end of the month, normally what happens is brokerage firms clean up the books, and they make sure that any account that is under margined is no longer under margined at month end, because at month end, brokerage firms have to report to the SEC their health, how they're doing financially, and any account that is under margined means that is capital that the brokerage firm has to use itself to cover positions that they're holding on behalf of clients. They don't hold upside down positions at month end. They just don't. And there is a brutal way to deal with it, and that's called selling people out. And that usually happens in the last week of every month if there are any issues with upside down accounts. And so the last few days of this past month, that would have been last week, were, we noticed there were some ups and downs in the markets. Yeah, people were getting knocked off and getting blown out. Now, that pressure is gone today. We don't have that pressure right now with regards to sellouts. And so I can see where perhaps we may have a bit of an uptick to kind of start the week. I noticed that 23andMe, for example, is up 13 cents right now to $7.98 on only 5,600 shares. GameStop looked a little bit higher this morning. I don't have that happy news, unfortunately, with ATIP, but I will tell you, ATIP, I took a look at a filing they just did just a little while ago. It's a new registration filing. And I went into it a little bit. I really dug into it. I think it's about, I have to say it's 400 pages long. If I had to guess, it's 400 pages. I think I got 250 into it. But I found a lot of it was repetitive. And anyway, some of the little tidbits of news that I pulled out of ATIP that you might find interesting that I found was stuff like, I didn't know this. I didn't know this actual number, but there are over 38,000. I believe I got that right. It's either 32,000 or 38,000. I think it's 38,000. There are 38,000 clinics in the United States for physical therapy, and ATIP has 900 of them. They are the single largest independent operator of physical therapy centers. There are two larger than them, but they're not independent. They are part of hospital groups, private hospital outfits. So we're talking about these multi-billion-dollar machines. But this is a standalone company. It is a standalone medical services providing company that operates these 910 or something like that physical therapy centers outside of hospitals. They are the largest in that field. And from what I can gather and what I've read and my personal opinion, this is the future. This is where physical therapy is going and will continue to go quickly. And the reason simply is it is much more efficient and cost effective to run a physiotherapy center out of something like what we call a strip mall. So it might be say out of a 3-story building in a light industrial area where there's free parking, easy access in and out for vehicles, and it's a ground floor location. It might be 1,500 to 2,000 square feet. Cheaper per square foot to run there, cheaper from a business tax perspective as well, because you're not in a downtown high rise, or you're not inside an existing hospital facility where you've got to pay 10 times the square footage cost to be part of this massive health center. Here you're running independent locations where the only expenses you're paying are your expenses. You're not covering radiology. You're not covering the pharmacy over here. You're not covering the surgery. You're not covering the emergency room. You're just covering your own overheads, and you're negotiating with landlords which there are probably dozens of which to choose from in every community that you want to open up these centers. There are dozens of them who would kill to get an ATIP 10-year lease or 7-year lease as a tenant, because ATIP doesn't bounce checks, and the landlord can see, oh, this is a steady spot. If you're in like a strip mall where you got the barber, the laundromat, you've got the workout gym over here, and then you got the ATIP physiotherapy center. Perfect. It's a place where people come and go all the time, 7 days a week. The traffic's back and forth. This is great. The ATIP they don't have a problem with trying to get people to come in. They don't have like a customer problem where they have to advertise to, oh, we're here, we'll help you. No, there are people being sent to them all the time from doctors and other referrals. And of course, once you've used one of these centers, you'll tell your doctor, oh, send me back to that ATIP place. They're really good over there, because it's so handy for free parking. You don't have to pay the hospital parking rates. Mass transit is usually nearby because you're on major arteriaries or thoroughfares. Uber, quick and easy Uber in, Uber out. And if they're in all the neighborhoods of a city, you might be 3 minutes away from an ATIP physiotherapy center. So that might be a $5 or $8 Uber ride to get to. Very convenient, very handy. They don't have a customer problem. The problem with ATIP there are multiple problems. One is COVID. Everyone has that problem. We have a surge in COVID cases again. Everyone's got this problem. All right, so that's nothing new. They're open. They're asking you to mask up when you come in. I get that. But the problem has been the Medicare governments, the state governments and federal governments are trying to cut back the amount of money they want to pay out for medical services. They're trying to keep their budgets down. And they're trying to find ways to cut without, wherever they can. The problem is that you really can't cut certain areas of healthcare because the lobbyists for that industry are so powerful that you can't mess with these guys. With respect to physiotherapy services as a standalone thing, you might be able to pick on them a little bit and you might be able to hold them back a tad. But I have a feeling that ATIP in the next 5 years, I would not be surprised if they begin to offer more and more of their services to non-insured people. I just get this hunch that a lot of us, as we get older, will go in for physiotherapy on our own. We're not even going to be referred in there by a doctor. We'll just show up and become clients of this place. Like people go and get a sports massage or a flex massage to work the knees after an operation, where people will just pay it out of their own pocket because the insurance company will pay for the first 5 visits or 10 visits, or they might cover half the price, and then after that you're on your own. I just see people going in there on their own and just paying for it themselves. And I think ATIP will do rather well with this area. They'll do, I think, extremely well. The problem they've got, unfortunately, is lack of staff. This has been a problem now for 6 months. This is not a new overnight problem. It's not like, oh, we just found out we have this problem. No, they've known this problem existed. They've got such a demand for their services. They're hiring like crazy, and they are hiring like crazy. And they're now offering basically stay-at-home physical therapy, where you're at home. You can't get out because you're locked up or you're asymptomatic or whatever your city restrictions are, doesn't matter. You're at home and your physical therapist is like me right here. We're on camera. And your physical therapist is now working with you to help you do your own stretches and loosening up this or that. Fascinating. These guys are on the cutting edge. It's pretty smart what they're doing. I like them overall, but I don't like where the stock is. I will not hide that fact. $3.40 a share. You think I'm happy with that? I'm not happy with that. Very unsatisfactory. But I kind of wonder over time, the plan here for this company, I think, has been and will probably continue to be that I will not be surprised if they double their size every year or two in the number of centers that they have, because I think their game plan is volume business. If we take over an existing chain of 50 locations in Cincinnati or St. Louis or Memphis or whatever, or the state of Kentucky or the state of Maine or whatever they're doing, they buy out different regional players, bit by bit by bit by bit. I can see them going to the bond market, and I can see them raising 300 million here, 200 million here, 500 million here, and they'll just borrow the money, buy these outfits up, show the books to the bankers, say, yeah, we're going to buy these 50 centers over here, add them to our 920 or what we got. We're going to get up to, I think, 1,000 this month. We'll be up 1,200 in about 3 months from now. As we grow out, we become more efficient because obviously the head office is a head office, and costs will drop on a per office basis. That's the theory anyway. The bankers are going to go, yeah, we'll lend you money. Yeah, we got tons of money to lend here. This is a cash flowing business you're buying. You're buying the lock, stock, and barrel, the operating entity. No one gets laid off. All these people keep working, but they're going to be made that much more efficient because instead of a 50 grouped physio centers, you're part of 1,000, and so that's bringing it. So I think ATIP has upward potential, but this week, you tell me what it's going to do. I'm sure hoping something will happen. We are opening now for business right now this morning. Let's see what the markets want to do and see what they're going to give us today. All right, let's find out what we have going on here. Let's take a peek here at our list of favorites and see what's going on this morning. I'm showing at the moment Robinhood apparently a little higher, 35.86, up 71 cents. I'm showing at 959,000 traded so far this morning. I'm showing SoFi at 1548 at the moment, volume of 341,000 shares. Looks like that one has started on a bit of an upward tick a little bit. GameStop 161 something, now 160.29. It's jumping about here. It was just at 162.93. We're now at 160.29. We're down 83 cents on 72,000 shares. We'll wait for this to sort of settle in, see what's going on. SoFi now up 6 cents to 15.50. ATIP showing at 336 to 342. Looks like last at 340 on 37,000 shares. I think it's down 11 cents. Not 100% sure if that's really down on the day or not. ATIP, I thought closed at 340 on last week. Anyway, we're looking now at 339, 340 a share. AMC up 29 cents. Matterport up 49 cents to start the day at 15.94. Now at 16.01. Matterport has breached the $16 level this morning right off the opening with 102,000 shares. 23andMe, 783 to 88 on 31,000 shares. Looks like it's about down a penny or two. Fifth Wall doesn't look like it's traded. Not sure about the Vector. I think Vector here, VACQ, is now up 3 cents at 10.20 a share. Our friends, I believe this is going to become Rocket Lab, if I'm not mistaken. VACQ, yeah, that's right. August 20th. Navsite at 9.96 unchanged. Sixtra down to 9.25 off 24 cents on 185,000 shares. I have no news on Sixtra yet. I'm curious to see what they are going to do this week. This is their first full week of trading, and I suspect all the stock symbols will have been updated by now through all the trading platforms. It takes usually a few days. See what Sixter wants to say to us. Vanek Vectors is up 385. Home Depot up 71 cents. IBM up 48 cents. The Dow up 144. S&P up 23. NASDAQ up 90. So we got a good start there. Oil down 62 cents to 73.33. Microsoft up 62 cents. Apple up 28 cents. Tesla up 19.35 a share to 706 again. Back to 706 for Tesla. Bed Bath & Beyond up a nickel to 28.59. BlackBerry up 2 cents to 10.18. The cruise shares are mixed. We're up on the Royal Caribbean by 6 cents, but we're down a penny on Norwegian. Carnival up 9. Amazon up $15. Facebook up $1.40. Google up $4.50. So too early to tell what direction we're going to go there. That's kind of what I've got at the moment. Let's get back to our top list here. Robinhood now 36.05 up 90 cents. SoFi up a nickel to 15.49. GameStop now up 51 cents, 61.63. And ATIP Physical Therapy up 2-3 cents to 3.43 now. Looks like it's up a little bit on 82,000. I'm expecting bargain hunters to come in on ATIP. I really am. I'm expecting long-term holders to scoop this thing up because their attitude is going to be the bad news came out, dropped the stock to $6-7 a share is where it sort of stopped. But then it got out of hand with month-end selling, and it went down to the 3 $1 range, and that is just too cheap. And so now people are scooping this stuff up bit by bit, but we're not bragging about it. They're just quietly picking this off. We'll see how this plays out. AMC at 38.02, up $1. Matterport now 16.36, up 91 cents on the morning's trades. I don't have any news. If anyone has any news, let me know. I see 171,000 traded also. Quite extraordinary, but not unexpected. That's kind of the way Matterport rolls. It doesn't trade heavy, and it can go up on very light volume. I really like that Matterport story, as I'm sure you know if you followed me a little bit. Yeah, we're very happy. Anyway, there you go. Let her run. The higher it goes, the better for all. And I'm very pleased to see that take place. Welcome one, welcome all. I haven't read any comments yet. Just been kind of busy, although I did read that one troll who wasn't happy with me, or apparently I ruined the life of somebody or something like that. It varies. Let's see what happens. News from Matterport. We like the stock. Brittany Anderson. Hi, Bruce. Hello, Brittany. Good morning to you. Yeah, let's see what's going on here. Let's go Matterport, says Testy Donkey. Yeah, go, baby, go. Wow, I like Matterport. Yeah, me too. I'm very happy with it. No complaints on the Matterport scenario. The low of the day, 15.45. The high of 16.40. Last 16.22, up 77 cents. Looking pretty good. So far on the day. SoFi at 15.54.55, up 11 cents. And volume not too heavy here either. Again, I'm kind of expecting a bit of an uptick on the day today, just because the sellouts are over. The sellouts happened Friday, Thursday last week for month end, and we're done. And there's not a pent up block of stock waiting to get out, I don't think. GameStop 160.101 right now, down about 11 cents. Volume of 40,000. Not a lot of volume. Very, very quiet. 345 on ATIP, up 4 cents, just a tad better. Volume 165,000 shares. GameStop volume 126,000. It's funny how the volume changes from one device to another. It's really incredible, the difference. Okay, let's see what gives. IBM up 94 cents, reluctantly gaining at 141.90, trying to hit the 142 level. The old folks, the old buggers at IBM have been really tough on us lately. 142.50.60 seems to have been the best price in the last month now. After we reached the 152.84 level, we hit that back on about June the 24th or something like that, 25th. And it's been downhill to 137 from there, and now we're back to 140. Let's go almost 142. We are a ways down, $10 behind. And in the meantime, the stock did drop on management shuffles. They came out with a report, their quarterly report, blew the doors off their numbers. Fantastic numbers. The stock has not yet recovered to the 152 range. I think it's going higher, but maybe the split coming up is holding things up. Maybe that's what it is. We don't have details on it. We'll see what's going on. Let's see. I can only imagine how high Matterport will go after earnings next week. Kev is saying, hey, have you seen Tesla, Bruce? Yes, I have. Tesla, $24 gain to $711. Wow, what can I say? Anyway, there you go. What else is going on? Yeah, Bunker Bruce, you mentioned during long July weekends, markets move slow. What are the seasonal patterns out there to perhaps keep in mind? Well, summer is summer. I mean, July and August are sort of quiet, although the latter part of August, usually things pick up. September, a lot of people reassess their lives because the kids are back in school and everybody realizes they're getting a year older because the kids are in the higher grade now, and they reflect on themselves. They go, am I really doing the right thing? Am I really where I want to be? What should I do with my life? There's a lot of that going on, a lot of self-analyzation going on. And so sometimes Septembers are choppy, very choppy. They can be very good or very bad. I don't expect a bad September this year. I actually expect a good August, September, October. The reason I expect a good September, October, August, September, October, November, the reason I think it's going to be good, You're hearing about it every day now. You're hearing about it. The infrastructure program, the infrastructure spending bill is going through Congress. This is going to happen. And there's about a $450 billion package that always gets approved as a standard thing, but now there's a $550 additional package being added to it to really push repairs and upgrades on a lot of neglected areas of infrastructure. This is $1 trillion a year. This is $1 trillion a year. It's a 10-year deal. So really, it's a $10 trillion package over 10 years. The United States can more than afford it. The United States desperately needs to do it. The U.S. is 20 trillion behind. 20 trillion behind on its infrastructure spending over the last 20 years. This is what happens when you kick the can down the road. Eventually, you kind of address that thing, and it's a lot bigger than you thought it was. But you better do it now, because if you wait another 10 years, it's a $50 trillion. It just gets worse. You got to get it going. Anyway, this is going to clear the Senate, because I can tell you that senators from every state are rubbing their hands going, this is good for my state, because they're spending in every state. This is the thing that a lot of you out there may not be aware of. These politicians are, sure, they're there for the national interest, but they're really there for themselves and their districts. And of course, you are a senator, you represent your entire state, and there are two of you. You want to come back to your, to your states at the state. They want to come back to the state fair, and eat those corn dogs with your voters. You want to talk to them about how I just brought to our state multi-billions of dollars of spending for job creation here, for these highways, interstates, whatever infrastructure has to be improved. And it's vast. It is a vast bill. This is not we're just going to fix potholes. This isn't one of those. This is a biggie. And state senators are going to say, hey, just help pass a 10-year thing for our state that is $70 billion over 10 years. That is going to be spent all on local firms, local jobs, local creation of wealth, improved infrastructure for everyone. We're going to attract more business here because our state will be much more efficient. Yeah, this is what they want to do, and that's what's happening. So look for an improvement, for the markets. I think the markets are going to do very well this next quarter, because the markets will be reflecting on just how juicy this is, how big a thing this really is. And the analysts out there have already said it, but they're going to repeat it. They're going to go, the passing of this bill is one of the largest work projects since the Second World War. This is humongous, and it is well overdue, and it's about time. Now, where's the money coming from? You know where the money's really coming from? To be honest, again, I'm on the outside here. I'm in Canada. I'm not in the USA. I'm in Canada. I'm looking out going, you know where the money's coming from to do this? This is chump change, by the way. This is nothing money. People talk about, it's $10 trillion. $500 billion is being spent anyway in the existing budget. $500 billion is being added to the budget. The amount of money that America is not going to spend to have troops in Afghanistan and to not have as many troops in Iraq will more than offset this spending. You can either spend it on, armaments and bullets and chow and medical facilities to look after your youth in Afghanistan who are getting picked off by these Taliban guys. It's a losing battle. Bring them home and put them to work domestically under this instead. What would you rather have? Would you rather have armies of Americans all over the world, doing whatever they're doing, or would you like to have a portion of them back in the U.S. building up your country? I kind of like the second one myself. I kind of like it when American troops don't get killed. I really like it when American troops don't come back in caskets. I really like it when they fly home and they visit their parents and their kids and their relatives and they lead normal lives again because of a booming U.S. economy. I think this is the great way to go. This is what makes America the greatest. Anyway, hopefully this will work through. This is going to go through the Senate. every senator has a vested interest that this happens. They won't say it. Now, Republicans won't say it, but enough will vote for it. Those radicals who want to vote against it, they'll vote against it knowing it'll go through. So, they'll have their numbers figured out. But it's a good thing for the markets. The stock markets are going to go much higher. I think it's going to be good for the market as a whole. Anyway, there you go. Love it. Let's see what happens. I'd like to see this economy get even stronger. There you go. Thank you for being here, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Thank you for tolerating the rant today. Hope you didn't mind it too much. We're here. 35.81 on Robinhood, up 66 cents. SoFi up 8 cents to 15.52. GameStop up $1.54 now to 162.66. ATIP down a penny. It's unchanged, or virtually unchanged at 3.40. AMC up $1. Matterport up 69 cents to 16.14. 23andMe down 7 cents. Fifth Wall unchanged. Vector unchanged. Navsite down a penny. Cyxtera down 76 cents. It's just driving me up the wall. These guys, I want them to start talking. Vanik down 2.96. Home Depot down 69 cents. IBM $1.72 higher to 142.68. Come on, IBM, you should be at 150. Let's go. The Dow's up 189, or is it? I'm showing 189 or so, 192. S&P up 19, Nasdaq up 27 points. Oil down 69 cents to 73.26 a barrel. Anyway, there you go. Interesting markets. Microsoft down 61 cents. Apple down 27 cents. Tesla up 22.75 this morning. Looking good over on the Tesla front. So that's what we got going right here on this market. I got green on my first 7 stocks from Robinhood, SoFi, GameStop, ATIP up 2 cents now, AMC, Matterport. They're all green. I wish it would continue with the rest of the stocks I love to follow, but that's what I have so far. And there you go. Welcome, guys, to this show. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this bill will be hugely as gross. We need it badly. And let's go. Let's see. SoFi, Matterport, at VACQ, Rocket Lab looks like the only SPACs coming out of the gate strong. Cyxtera is chasing ATIP into the basement. Let's go. Uncle Bruce, is there anything new you're recommending? I've already invested in everything else you recommended. Can you give me something new? Well, you just give me time. From time to time, I'll come up with some new stuff. Kind of want to make money on what we got, and I think we will not too long from now. But anyway, let's see what else. I'm breaking even because of holding my GameStop, my SoFi, my Matterport. The calls are losing so far. ATIP up 3 cents. Oh my gosh, there we go. Jobs. That's right. Definitely jobs. Yeah, I'm coming in late, but boy, I love this Matterport move. Yes. There you go. What else is going on? Is it a good time to buy SMH, or is it better to buy individual chip stocks? Well, I like the SMH overall because you cover the industry as a whole, and as a whole, the industry is going to, I think, just continue to benefit. I leave it to the pros at the ETF to kind of figure out which ones. I do have some favorites. I mean, I do like Micron, and I like Intel, but again, I'm a contrarian when it comes to Intel. I like Intel because the street hates it. I like Intel because it's dirt cheap. 54.35 a share, even with downgrades and the pros poo-pooing it. The stock really is refusing to give up much ground. I mean, a year ago it was as low as 49 or $50 a share, something like that. $44. Here it's 54 today. A year later, it's trading at 12 times earnings. I like Intel's situation. I think Intel, if they generate 3/4 of what they say they're going to do, they're going to make more money, and the stock will go up anyway. But if they hit on all cylinders, and I think they will, because I think the management in there will make things happen, I think the stock can do really well. But that means you've got to be a contrarian as opposed to grabbing this SMH and just saying, hey, I can buy SMH and relax. Why don't you do it that way? There you go. Let's go. What else? Guns versus butter. 101 economics. There you go. Yeah, IBM finally looking better. Up $1.91 to 142.87. It's waking up. About time. Like to see it. I don't think it's going to go to 143 and then down to 137. I think that we're building a base to go higher, back to the 150 level. But those of you out there who have options on IBM who've been listening to me going, Bruce, I bought these options like you said for October and September. I bought 142s and 143s. I bought 145s. When is this thing going to happen? Well, it's beginning to happen now, and I think it's going to continue to happen. But it took the first trading day of August to give us an uptick, didn't it? Amazing. We're up 3 cents on SoFi to 15.47. We're up 2.21 on GameStop right now to 163.10. ATIP, believe it or not, is up 11 cents to 3.52. I think this bargain hunting is really kicking in. I think it really is. 391,000 shares traded on ATIP. And so we're a little better off with, at this moment, a 9-10 cent gain or so. AMC up $1.29 to 38.31. Matterport now up 81 cents again to 16.26. Looking a little better. No news that I'm aware of on Matterport yet. There are financials coming, conference calls coming. They're going to be part of a wealth management seminar exposure thing run by Canaccord Genuity Growth Conference. They're in this coming up in the next couple weeks. There is a lot of promotion coming for Matterport. A lot of market awareness will be built here by Matterport in the next few weeks. SoFi, same thing. Market awareness is coming for SoFi. They have already announced their conference call for 10 days from now, August the 12th, for their financials to come out. And something is telling me that SoFi could be substantially better off than where we are right now at 15.48, up 4 cents, or 15.51, up 7 cents. I think SoFi is going to have a good August. That's my hunch right now. 163 on GameStop. We just broke through 163. ATIP 351, up a dime right now. Okay, there's what I've got. There you go. Kev Lane. Tesla's having a good morning. I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. Anyway, yeah, welcome everybody. Let's see. I need all the other SPACs to go up $10 by January to be content. What are the odds, Uncle Bruce? Well, we'll see. We'll see here. Intel calls. What do you think? Should I buy Intel calls for January 2022? I would look at Intel calls several ways. Okay, I would look at several ways on Intel calls. I would look at in the money calls actually as another way to sort of think about Intel. Let me just pop this up here. INTC. I think that's the symbol, isn't it? Intel. There it is. Yeah, INTC. 54.26 right now. We're up 54 cents on the day. On options, Intel options. Let's see if I can pop this chart up for us. There we go. Looking at January calls. There we go. So the stock's at one is at 54.30 right on. So if you're buying $40 calls for January, they're going to run you $14.50 a piece. That's book value. There's no premium to pay. If the shares go up $10 a share between now and then, you get all $10 a share. So you go from 14 to 24. If you pick off $45 contracts, you're going to pay a little over, maybe around $10 a piece. So you'll pay about a $1 premium. That's still reasonable. And grabbing a $45 call for like a $10 price, stock was up $10, you'll make about $9. That's a nice gain. The 50s are 6.30 or so. That's, you're still paying 56.30 for a 54.30. That's a $2 premium. It's cheaper to get the contract, but maybe if you can afford 6.30, you can afford 9.90, and I get the 45s. That's a thought. And if, of course, you buy a $45 in the money call on Intel or a 40 in the money call, you can do what we talked about yesterday on our class where you buy an in the money call, way in the money call, you now become an option writer. And that's called being a poor man option writer. We discussed that yesterday in our class, and you're going to want to check this out, how this works, where you can acquire control of stock for a fraction of what it trades for, not even be a shareholder, and start writing covered calls against these calls. Um, we'll be getting into this a lot more detail shortly, but in the next day or two, we'll have these two classes uploaded. You'll be able to check this stuff out. We covered some really neat stuff here. But I would look at Intel as an in-the-money trade at the very least. That's how I would do it. Looking at, say, June calls for 2022, not quite a year from now, like 11 months from now, you can pick up 40s for same price, $14.50 a contract, $14.60. That's book value. The stock's at 54. So it's $14.40 in the money, and you can get the contract for $14.50. I'd be looking at buying the 40s for June of next year. That's what I'd be doing. And you only have $14.50 on the line. So that's $1,450, gets you 100 shares instead of paying $5,400 for 100 shares. And whether it's one contract or two or three or four, up to you. That might be a way to play the long game on this stock. Again, poor man option might be another way to go. Okay. I just bought my first ever GameStop. Right on. Al Parker, hello, Bruce. I was on your weekend training calls doing my first put contracts right now. Any stock recommendations? SoFi, GameStop, thanks. Al, way to go, buddy. You're studying it out. You're looking it over. I noticed how GameStop's a little higher this morning. So that's not looking too bad. It looks like GameStop wants to kind of go higher. So you might want to look at that credit put spread we talked about. You might want to look at that for GameStop. And again, on IBM, the poor man put idea might be something to consider. And maybe you're looking at a put credit spread on Intel. That might be another thing to look into, or even on IBM, because of course it's moving higher too. There was a couple of thoughts for you. So yeah, you got homework to do, my friend. You got work to do. We covered a lot of stuff on the week. Oh my, did we cover stuff? Those of you out there who want to buy some cheap stock, like you want to buy GameStop on sale, like at a super cheap price, below $162.50, you might want to consider looking at writing a put contract on GameStop. You might want to look at a GameStop put contract where you will write a put where you'll set the exercise price at a price where you are happy to pay for it. You'll be compensated up front to do so, to make a commitment to buy GameStop in the future. You'll be given money up front, and you know how high the premiums are for GameStop shares. But if you're happy buying GameStop at, say, $150 a share when it's trading right now at $162.39, there might be a put contract in your future that might have your name on it that you might want to look into. I was just looking here, see if I can set this up like this. Take a look at I'm looking at the option chain right now on GameStop. For example, maybe like how about writing a put contract for maybe August the 27th, that's the end of this month, on GameStop. You might want to write a 150 put contract, and you'll be obligating yourself to pay $150 a share for GameStop, but you'll be given $10 right now for that privilege, which means you're paying $140. Would you like to pay $140 for GameStop? Maybe. If you don't get exercised, you get to keep the $10 a share. It's $1,000 for a contract. So you write one contract to buy 100 shares of GameStop for $150. It'll cost you $140 net because you're getting the $10 up front. But if it doesn't go low enough and you don't get it, you get to keep the $1,000 for offering to buy it. I kind of like that deal. Or if you want to go 140, let's say you want a little more coverage, why don't you write a 140? You'll get about $665, $675 right now to offer to buy GameStop for $140 a share. If you don't buy it for $140, you keep the $675 per put contract. That might be an idea. That's the beauty of these high premiums on this stock. If you're going to write something closer in, like maybe an August, what would that be? An August 13, an August 13 put contract, you can write a 160, which is $2 out of the money, and get $10 roughly, or you can write a 150 and get about $5. But you only have to commit to buying GameStop till next week Friday. So you're paying 150 less the 5 you're paying 145 by next Friday. But if the stock doesn't reach 150 between now and next Friday, you keep the $500 for the offer you're making. This is stuff we covered this past weekend. Ways to earn income, not even owning these stocks, and offering the market, something for something back. Give me money up front, and I might do this for you. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention it. Thank you, those of you who were here on the weekend. We really covered a lot of neat stuff. Anyway, what can I say? What else have we got? Let's go. Bruce is hitting his rhythm with these classes. And Al, you got it, buddy. You do your homework. There's no rush to get your first trade in. You systematically figure it out what you want to do. You've been there. You've made some notes. Now we'll see what we're going to do. All righty. Let's see. There you go. Farmless, Uncle Bruce, I had a GE call for December. I bought a few months ago. They did a reverse split, and I have somehow managed to get 100% of my money back. Thank God for lucky breaks. I am glad to hear that. Anyway, there you go. Bruce is officially shorting GameStop now. Not really. I'm taking advantage of these opportunities to raise capital, and you can buy more Gamestop. Take the money and buy more if you want. What can I say? Let's say. Let's see. Bruce said it was crazy to put GameStop a few weeks ago. Why the face? Well, the stock has changed from a few weeks ago. We weren't, we're not doing what we were doing a few weeks ago. Obviously, a few months ago, GameStop was really going ballistically crazy, but things are kind of settling in here. And it's time to make that stock pay for you if you're going to hang onto it this long. This sounds like magic, says Julian. I'm not sure what this channel is all about. It's about bagels, not stocks. He's a hell of a salesman. Let's go. Let's see. Oh man. We don't short GameStop. Enjoy my downvote. Well, again, if you think I'm shorting it, you're sadly mistaken. You're totally incorrect. There's no shorting of the stock. Buying a put, you're actually looking for the market to go up. That's what you're betting. If you're writing a put, you're actually betting on the market to go up. That's how you make your money on that contract. But if the stock goes down, you'll be offered the stock that you committed to buy, which means you're a buyer, and you have some money to do the buying. I mean, there are option players out there playing these calls and puts. They're gambling on the stock to go up and down all the time. I'm saying to you guys, why don't you enter that market, but be on the casino side of the equation rather than the gambler? Let the gambler take all the risk, and you take very little of the risk and enjoy some money in the meantime. And a lot of you out there could use some cash flow. And why not get cash flow in a slow, sluggish market? It's free money. It's being handed to you. I don't know what else I have to do. Options are magic. They create money, and they can also make it disappear. That's true. Again, you think I'm shorting it. You are wrong. Anyway, I don't think they are. I don't think ATIP is selling more shares and warrants. I think they only did a filing of their existing situation. I don't think this was a notification of issuing stock to the market. Let's see. BW says, "Good morning, Bruce. I missed y'all. Spokane was a hot mess last week, so I felt your Creston weather. And pain points too. Stifling heat and air smelled like I was walking to a dry sauna. Be safe up there. The smoke from the fires. That's why my voice is so scraggly. It's unbelievable." Yeah, here we go. IBM increasing its dividend on 9th of July to 164. Chip breakthroughs, AI spinoffs. looking good. And that's why the stock is also looking better today. I get the impression that the street is just sensing better times. 142.95 on IBM, up a buck 96. Lovely, lovely move. Dow is up 165 points. Right on. Yeah, puts on GameStop is a no for me. Uncle Bruce, what about writing a GameStop call for 27th of July, strike price 200 for 600 US dollars. So that's $6 a share. So you're looking at writing a 27th. So that's the 6th is Friday, and then the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. So that's 4 Fridays from now. You're looking at a $200 call, bringing in $6 a share, $600. Yeah, you could do that, although you could take a look maybe at something shorter in. You may not want to be so long out because, 4 weeks from now, GameStop could be $300 a share. I mean, you know how this stock can go. I'm not saying don't do this, but you might want to consider something more like a shorter fuse on the market. Let's take a look maybe for next week, Friday, the 13th. You're going to write a call. You can write maybe 180s for 4.25, and you can get 2 writes in the same amount of time. So you can write the 180 for next week, Friday, and then after that, you can write another call for the 27th, which is this date here, maybe another $4 call depending on the strike price, and you'll bring in 850 instead of 6. But I like the idea of a $200 call because you're 40 out of the money, or 38 out of the money. Yeah, I don't mind it, but I kind of like being closer in so that you are in more control, because you're only offering a contract for 9.5 days now, right? Half a day's gone ish soon, and you get 9.5 days to go. Anyway, there you go. Writing a put is a bullish move. You dinks, take a class. That's right. That's it. Let's give Uncle Bruce thumbs up. He's working on a holiday. Your classes are amazing. Anti-Jen tells you what I really mean, not what I type. She is so brilliant. We're learning so much. Excited for the next ones. Thank you, Sean and Wendy. Again, folks, I'm trying to find ways for you to make money in this market. And the stocks you either own, follow, whatever, can make you money. You don't have to necessarily own them. You don't have to own GameStop to be a fan of GameStop and make money from GameStop. And you can be utilizing trading tactics that take advantage of a flat market, a moving market, or a depreciating market, and make money in the meantime. You don't need it to go to the moon to make your score. If you're buying stock that you hope will go to the moon, and that's your entire strategy, I commend you. I congratulate you. But you're a one-trick pony, and you're going to need one thing to happen. The stock goes to the moon for you to make the dough. You're going to have to tolerate the market in the meantime, no matter what. And if you can, God bless you. It's great. It's fantastic. If you don't need any cash or cash flow, or you have enough on your own, knock yourself out. But those of you out there who are working full-time, and your partner is working full-time, or you don't want to work full-time anymore. You've been asking me, Bruce, is there a way, somehow, some way, that I can not work full-time anymore? Maybe I can work part-time and I can do the market part-time. For example, I'll stay home during market hours and trade the market, make money doing that. And then I'll work part-time on weekends or on weekday afternoons or weekday evenings. Is that possible, rather than me slaving away for some doofus boss at 60 hours a week and getting abused all the time? Yeah, there is a way. One of the ways is to learn how the options markets work and work that into your favor. And whether you're writing contracts against stock you have, or whether it's writing contracts against stock you don't have, or whether it's a poor man call trading strategy, there's all kinds of ways to bring income in if that's what you need, or there's ways to bring capital in to your account to acquire more shares of the shares you love. And that can be arranged and done. And that's what these classes help you, I think, to do. So, anyway, there you go. Welcome all. What can I say? All right. What else have we got going on? Yeah. Yeah, writing bullets is bullish. That's right.
What else we can say? Yeah, today is a holiday in Canada, by the way. This is a day off. Canada's closed. It's a federal holiday today. But I'm working because the U.S. markets are open. This is where I do my work. Yeah. Any reason? I have no idea why this stock is down. I have no idea. It is sitting at now down 50 cents at $9. It was as low as 860. Now at what is it, 899 on 259,000. I have no news of any kind to tell you, so I can't give you the explanation. IBM 142.61, the high of the day 143.05. That was nice to see. We'll see if IBM wants to mount another charge. That would be just fine by me. We got SoFi up 8 cents to 15.52. We have GameStop up just 20 cents. We've got ATIP up 7 cents to 3.48. We have AMC up $1. We have Matterport up 49 cents. Good morning, Jennifer. Jen is up. Jen is running. She's moving. Yay. This is good stuff. Sean and Wendy, they do not understand you can do more than hold a stock, which is all we knew until you began to teach us. The banks make money every day. Walmart too. Glad you're teaching us. Thanks. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. And the two of you are really picking up the nuances of this thing. This is great. Let's see. Let's see. I have 861 shares of SoFi at 1950. Should I write some puts? I feel like 15 is the floor. Well, if you're writing $15 puts on SoFi for say a month or two, I'm not sure how much premium you'll get. That's the one catch there. The stock's at 15.52. You got to make sure you get $1 a share or more premium. Otherwise, it's just not worth your while, because you have got to be compensated when you write a put contract with time. You've got to get a time value benefit. Otherwise, there's no benefit to you whatsoever. So absolutely take a look for that as an absolute necessity, as a number one thing. Just looking at contracts right now, a $15 put contract that expires this Friday is 19 cents. So you're not going to write that one. A $15 put contract for next Friday is 62 cents. A put contract for the next Friday is 80 cents. And then at the end of the month, the 27th, 92 cents to $1, last at $1. So if you wrote a $15 put contract, which is out of the money, 53 cents right now, you would get $1 a share, meaning you would be paying $14 a share for SoFi if you were exercised. If you're going to write a $14.50, you'll get about 75 cents, so you'll be paying $13.75 a share. If you wrote a $13.50, you're getting 40 cents a share. You're only paying $13.10, but you're only getting a $40 premium per contract, which is $400 or $40 a contract. But a 15 will get you $1, and so that will pay you $100 per contract, or $1 a share, to compensate you down to $14 net cost. A 15.50 is 126. A $16 contract right now is 155, 160 ballpark at the moment. So you're still paying $14.50, $14.40 if you write the 16. So if you're confident that the SoFi will go over 16 a share between now and the end of this month, through that conference call, all that stuff, if the shares during the month reach 17 and a half, these puts will drop dramatically. You could just buy them back. So if you write one for $155, you can buy it back at $50 a share, or $50 a contract, 50 cents. You'll score a $100 gain on it. Do 10 of those. It's $500, $1,000. It's worth a consideration. You can go longer. Obviously, you can write puts for September or longer, but then you got to watch and wait. But you can either write the put to buy it back at a lower price, which is usually the objective anyway, because you don't want to buy more stock. You just want to make money from it. But you want to make money from the gamblers who are paying all this premium. That's what you want. Same with GameStop. If you're going to write puts on GameStop, you're just looking for price degradation. You just want the contract to go down in value as it runs out of time. You're scoring that in your pocket. You can use that money to buy more GameStop. Absolutely. It's a bullish move. The stock goes up, that put drops to nothing. You're laughing. You can buy it back for a quarter and cash in all the money. Hi, Jen.
Well, we've added fog.
Have we got fog out
to
there?
The smoke.
Oh.
And the
Well,
mist.
it's so humid now.
When you
with
walk
the rain.
outside, it's like walking into a wet wall. Like,
But at least it's
ugh.
nice and soggy out. You know, it feels
Yeah.
really humid, which means the fires
It's
have been
showing we didn't get
dropped
very
off.
much precipitation,
No.
but everything we got is being held down.
Yeah, and that's the big thing for the fires. Fire suppression.
Oh yeah.
They will be really calmed down if it
And
feels
there's
more humid.
not a wisp of a breeze.
Not a wisp of breeze. So it's
That
dead
helps
quiet.
too. So
No wind. Fires will
let's
stay
see if
really
we can
calm.
avoid some lightning this afternoon and just get some rain.
We are supposed to get more today
Yes.
or tomorrow. So
But possibly lightning along with it.
let's see what happens.
So have you been thinking about it?
Oh, I've been thinking about
You
today. Today's bagel day. Today is jelly on a bagel day.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
crispy bagel. A really crispy
Crispy
toasted bagel with jelly on it.
Grape jelly.
Oh yeah.
Jelly in my belly.
Jelly in my belly, baby. Oh yeah. Oh, that's gonna be good times. What can I say? Bruce is right, says anti-PC. This is just rolling with the current market. You have to adjust. That's true. You do. It's a civic holiday in Canada. Yeah, it's civic.
Turn the light on.
Oh, it's so dark. We have to turn the light on in the kitchen this morning.
What is that?
Cody, it doesn't feel like a money. Oh man, what else is going on here? Let's see. Mark, is anyone having trouble accessing the classes that you paid for? It's really difficult for me to pull up the classes I paid for. If you've made a payment on a class and you can't get the link to work, just send me a private email. You can either do it through the website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. Just hit the reply to me there, or send me a private email on my Hotmail address, brucefarmer@hotmail.com, which is right here. Just tell me what the lessons are that you can't get. Tell me, hey, Bruce, I paid for lesson this and this, and I can't find it. I will send you a private link you can get to. I apologize that you're having issues. We're still so new at this. We're still working out the logistics on the website and to get figured out. But we're finding that for a high percentage of you, 95% or more of you are having no problems getting the classes. You're watching them. But I'm more than happy to take care of you. I'll get you the link because I can see that you've made your payment. I can see that through the PayPal link that, oh, yeah, you paid for that class 3 days ago. Yeah, no problem. Now, some of you have been making payments to us through PayPal where you're not in the country and you're using a debit card or a credit card, and PayPal has what they say, put the funds on hold as far as they are with me pending. They're on a pending file, and they pend for up to a week. They can be in a pending suspense animation because what's happening is PayPal is trying to clear the funds over borders from national banking centers wherever in the world you are, and sometimes it takes a couple of days, several business days, including a weekend, to get it all done. And so it's not me holding it up. It's PayPal holding it up. And so, again, just let us know. Tell Jen and I, send me an email, say, hey, Bruce, made a payment for this class on such and such a day. Can you look into sending us a link for class number 5 or 6 or 3 or 2? We'll take care of you. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. All right? So, Mark, we'll take good care of you. Yeah, that's how I feel. GameStop's different, at least to me, but I know many others agree. Don't bite the hand that feeds. I will write a contract saying the price of bagels is going down. Someone bets it does. I collect premium. The price doesn't go down. The price to pay, I say buy more bagels. Yeah, that's right. You make money on contracts. You buy more stock. Yeah. How do you lose when you write a put contract? The only way you lose is the stock goes down in value and you have to buy the stock. That's how you lose. Because you write the put and say, SoFi, I'm prepared to pay $15 a share for SoFi for 2 weeks or a month. And the shares go down to $14.50 or something, and you have to buy the stock at 15 because you didn't buy the put back. You let the put stay out there. You get assigned. You now have to pay for the stock at 15, but you got paid $1 when you wrote the put in the first place. So you actually are putting out $1,400 of your money to get these shares. So you're now buying 100 shares at GameStop or SoFi at 15 for 14. Now, let's say the stock goes to 12. Well, you're down $200 a share because you just bought them for 14 net. They're trading at 12. You're a loser, right? Well, everyone's a loser. The stocks went down to 12. However, you've got 100 shares now. You can turn around and write a call contract on that stock. You might write a $15 call on that stock you just bought for 14 for say a $1 premium for 3 months from now. I'm just throwing these around as an idea. And the stock does come back to 14, 15, and you get exercised. Someone buys your stock off of you for $15. Well, you got 16 because you got the 15 plus the $1 premium. You just got paid $16 for a stock you actually only paid 14 for. You've made $2 a share on this entire transaction, if that's how you play it. You turn around, write a new put, and the stock's at 15. You write a put contract at 15 or 14, good for 3 weeks or 2 weeks or a month, and you're trying to bring in, maybe a dollar premium again, and away we go. That's the downside. All right, the stock goes up. If SoFi goes to $18 a share in the next 3 weeks, that put you wrote at 15 will never get exercised. No one's going to sell you stock at 15 that they can sell at 18 on the open market. And so you keep the premium. That's $1 a share. That's money in your pocket. Now, what do you want to do with that money? You wrote 1 contract, you got $100. You wrote 10 contracts, you got $1,000. What are you going to do with the $1,000? You might turn around and buy more SoFi with it, or more GameStop, or buy contracts in buy call options on something else, or whatever you're going to do. But you might turn around and write more puts and keep writing put contracts. Yes. SoFi down 2 cents. GameStop down $1.72. ATIP up ATIP, I'm having trouble reading this. It's up 16 cents. I'm not used to this. Usually it's red, and usually it's always going down. It's up 16 cents a share. I'm not used to this. AMC up 60, Matterport up 38, 23andMe down 4, Fifth Wall down 37, Vector down a dime, Navsite down a penny, Cyxtera down 48 cents, IBM up $1.35. I'm not used to this either. Usually it's only up in pennies. Up $1.35, 142.31. The Dow is up 170. Apple's up 36 cents. It's turned around. Apple's gone up. Microsoft has gone up too. It's turned around, up 82. Tesla having a wonderful time. $36 gain right now on Tesla. $7.23 a share. Royal Caribbean up 98 cents. Norwegian up 33. Carnival up 39. They've turned around and gone higher. Amazon up $14. Facebook down $1.50. Google, which is Alphabet, up $3.21 a share. So we got some gains here. We got the Dow up 176. We've got S&P up 22. Nasdaq up 70. And that's what we got going on right now. Robinhood up $1.08 to 36.23, still under the $38 the issue price. SoFi now up 2 cents at 15.46. ATIP up 14 cents. Matterport up 41. So we got some movement here. That's what's happening. Anyway. Yeah. So Jake is saying that if you write a put and the underlying stock crashes well below the strike price, they can put the stock to you. Well, that's exactly what happens. That's exactly right. That's why it's called a put. I can put the stock to you at a price you said you'd buy it from me at, but I gave you this money up front, so you can use part of that to use that towards the cost and then put up the rest. But if you like the stock, what do you care? Exactly. Thank you, everybody. Here we are. The bagel has arrived.
You could hear the sesame seeds popping in the toaster.
Oh, I love when I hear that. That's what I live for, because that means that these are roasting in the toaster. Eddie is saying, good morning, Jen. Good morning, Jen, from John Jepson. Good morning, Jen, from Larry, Splair TV. Good morning, Jen, and good morning, Bagel Gang from Splair TV. Yeah, and what can I say? Good morning, Jen. I want to take a crack at selling a put on SoFi. What date and strike would look best? There you go. You got to decide how long you want to be exposed for on a put contract. You've got to decide what price you're prepared to pay for the stock, and you've got to be happy with the premium that you're being offered. That's why you look at the option chain, decide for yourself whether you want to go something short-term, medium-term, or long-term. On the other hand, if you do go with an in-the-money put or an out-of-the-money put, you might be just a swing trader. You're just going, I'm going to write this contract and get $1.50 for it. But I'm not waiting until the end. I'm not going to be around for that. All I'm looking for is with the stock to fluctuate. If the stock goes up $1 in the next week or two, these puts will shrink. I'll buy them back and lock in the gain. You might be playing that angle. Nothing wrong with that angle. Oh, yeah. Good morning, Jen from Ashing. I did a put spread for August 20. I don't like it. Good luck on that one. August 20. So, yeah, okay. Ready to go, man. Let's see what happens. The first spread has been done. On SoFi. Well done. Right on. You're bullish on SoFi. I love it. Love it. Oh, yeah. I love the SoFi. Jelly, 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 baby. Yep. You're selling to open. You're a writer. You're selling to open. Auntie Jen, good morning from Sean and Wendy. Thanks for being the interpreter of your questions. Sometimes we don't know what we're asking. You are amazing. Jen is sort of piecing the questions together from our viewers as I'm doing my live classes, and she's getting, I know what they're actually asking. And so she rewords it and goes, here's what I think they mean by this question. And it really helps me a lot because I can just do my thing in front of the whiteboard, and then she'll come to me and say, okay, I've got a question here. I've had to modify it a bit, but I think here's what we're asking. Then she gives that to me, and then she immediately starts getting questions. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. Fantastic. Kev Lane, I'm bullish on SoFi. The first Sunday night football game is at SoFi Stadium, only a month away. Bring on the free advertising. Exactly. Jen rocks. That's right. ATIP right now, up 12 cents. Let's go, ATIP. Good explanation, Bruce. Thank you, guys. Should people be able to write? Should people able to be writing covered calls on games that be doing so right now? Oh, I see. Well, it depends. Baking, because on GameStop, I mean, you can write a call option that expires this Friday, and you can do it on Wednesday. You can do it on Thursday that expires tomorrow. I mean, you can write a call contract that has very little time left to live, and that means you're going to be right within the money and watch that closely. You can also write call options that die 2 weeks from now, a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. I mean, there's so many options that, so many versions of options you can play. And so, if you are a shareholder of stock of GameStop, you can write a covered call. You can write a put. You can do a straddle. You can do a credit, a put option credit spread, which we talked about this weekend. There's so many versions of ways to do it with risk factors that are high or very low, where you make money if the stock does nothing or goes up. You make money where it goes down a little bit, you still make money. It stays flat, you make money. It goes up, you still make money. There's all kinds of strategies available. We're getting into these every class now, more and more and more. We're getting into this, and stick around. We're going to get into even more complicated stuff so that you can really play the market any way you feel is comfortable for you. Anyway, there you go. I like the idea of writing calls on SoFi, but not yet. I think that SoFi is so close to a breakout. There's a $10 move happening on SoFi at any moment. In 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, at any time, in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, there's going to be an explosion on SoFi. And I really would not want you to be writing calls right now where you could be exercised like almost immediately and you gave away, $5, $6, $8 a share. So you kind of want to stick around here and just see. You may want to write puts instead and write put contracts. So if the shares do go up, it doesn't matter because the put becomes valueless and you buy it back for a dime or something like that. And you score a nice little gain there. That might be an option instead. With a margin account, if you have a margin account, you should be able to write puts against with the stock you have. So your stock is your collateral for the margin account. But you're going to have to go into your own platform trading company, whoever you use, and you're going to have to do like a mock trade. Take a look at several put contracts that you might want to write, and pretend you're going to do a trade. Go right up to the button where you're about to hit the button, because it should show you as you build that trade out. You pick the contract you want to write. You pick the price you want to write it at. How many are you going to do? It should then show you the margin requirement. And you may find that, oh yeah, I got plenty of margin for 1 or 5 or 8 or 10 of these. Plenty of margin. I mean, it's not even an issue. Having the shares in your account will be your weapon, your asset to use. If you have a margin account, if you have a cash account, again, you have to look at the level trading that you have through your broker, the platform. You might have to level up one, or you might have to convert into a margin account. I mean, I can't answer this question right off the seat of my pants. I can only give you indications of what I think might be happening. So look into that. Definitely look into that. All right. Glad I stoked up on ATIP last week and bought my average down to $6. I'm not feeling as bad. The gains are making it a little easier to take. Well, the stock I think is so oversold. It's like $2 oversold. I mean, $5.50 would be, much more reasonable considering what had happened. Because the company's not going out of business, They're not disappearing. This thing is way too far down here at 352. This is super, super cheap paper. Really cheap. Anyway, there you go. Slowly getting my head around puts and calls, I hope, says Robert. Robert is buying a 23andMe call, January 22 strike, 7.5 to at 140, a good deal. 23andMe is 780 now. You're getting a 750 contract. It's 30 cents in the money. You got until January to enjoy it. It's not that unreasonable a price. It's $1.10 premium. But if you can afford a 5, if a 5 is reasonably priced, you look at that too. But no, that's 750. I wouldn't have a problem with it, because for 23andMe, a 150 move on that stock in one day would be a no-brainer, and so that would take you to $9.30 a share. And this 750 would be worth then $1.80 book value plus $1.50 premium. You'd be at $2.80, double your money, and away you go. So, that's why I like the January. I'm not opposed to that trade actually, but keep an eye on the 5s too. Jelly, good morning, Uncle Jen. Now I'm hungry. Is there a reason we're talking about SoFi puts? Because we're bullish. We're bullish on SoFi. We're bullish on AMC, GameStop in particular. We're bullish on these stocks. We believe they're going higher. We believe they can go substantially higher. We believe in these companies, and I'm thinking here, maybe writing put contracts is a way to go. That's what I'm saying. All right. To make money, says NTPC. You got it, NTPC. NTPC gets to the point. It's to make money. All right. Take advantage of the market. Hello. That's right. I love it. NTPC, you're great. I love it. Oh, man. So as a swing put trader, would you go for the SoFi October 15, 17.5 at 350? Well, that's a thought, except that the time factor may negate the downward draft of the price of this contract. And what I mean by that is, it's not an August 15 or a September 15. It's an October 15. So there's a bit of time here for the option player to swing out and survive. You take the 350 from 1750, you have a $14 net price, right? So if you wrote that put and someone assigned the stock to you, you're paying $14 for it, right? It's trading right now at 15.48. So you don't mind paying $14 for the stock. Thank you. It's in the money, 50 cents a contract. But there is $3 premium on it because it's only worth 50 cents, right? Not even worth. Sorry, let me correct myself. It's worth nothing. This 1750. It's in the money. I'm sorry. It's in the money about $2. Okay. So the rest is premium. All right. So if the shares do go up to 1750 in the next couple of weeks, this contract will only trade at premium value, time value only, because it'll have come back right up. So it might be down to 2.25. And so you can swing that. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. The thing here about this contract is, though, it has $2 of book value now, isn't that right? Yeah, and it's got a buck of time premium, roughly, or $1.50 of time premium. So That will shrink, but it'll take 3 months to get it. It's 50 cents a month is all you're going to get in premium shrinkage, right? Time shrinkage. So you might look at maybe something shorter in if you can, if there's something available. It might be a lower price contract, but then again, if you're writing a 250 contract and you're going to buy it back at $1, you're making $1.50 on the 250 scenario, 60% gain. If you make $1 on this one, you're only making a third on your money. But again, $1 is $1. Thank you very much. Depending on what you're after, swing trading. But Nicholas, check out the contract from another angle. Look at the open interest, how many exist and how many trade in a day. Make sure there's volume on it. All right. That's another thought. You got to roll the baby. IBM, Cisco, Microsoft. IBM is the devil.
It's not the devil, it's just where the devil works.
Oh, that's right. That's where the devil works. That's all.
The devil is working his call.
Oh, man. John saying SoFi will go up in mid-September. That's my guess because of NFL football.
That's right.
There you go.
They're going to say their name every week.
There you go. They're going to be talking about that stadium every week. SoFi up a nickel. GameStop down $1.39. ATIP up 11.8 cents. Call it 12 cents. AMC up 54 cents. Matterport up 12. Oh, boy. Love that Costco bagel. Right? I can't tell you why. It's off a penny. It's coming back. Joe Olivia says to Mark Blue Skies, you're thinking of it from the perspective of the person who buys the put. They want the stock to go down. The writer of the put wants the stock to go up. So they just don't get exercised. Exactly. If you're a writer of a put, you're actually bullish on the stock. What? Hot? Yeah. Oh, man. Thinking, Gurus, you just made my day. Go long, like the quarterback says. Oh, man. What do you think is going to happen to the GameStop? What do you think the company's doing? I think there's a lot of really good things happening. There have been some major changes. When you think about this company, in the time frame of like 9 months, 9 months ago, that was November. The stock was $10 a share, $12 a share, having been at 3 to 5 for 2 years, roughly. Got to 10. By January, it had all the gyrations you could imagine, from nothing up to 400 something a share, all the way back and all the way up again. February, crazy gyration. Then you had complete change out of management. The addition of Ryan Cohen plus 2 of his accomplices from Chewy. New management, old management out, new management in, all board directors out, all new board of directors in. I mean, wow, that's lightning speed, man. That is fast. That is really quick. And the company has now opening up the distribution center in York, Pennsylvania, another one in Reno, Nevada, to add to the Grapevine, Texas, to the one in Mississauga, Ontario for Canadian distribution. I mean, this outfit is really shifting. And now we're talking about the possibility of all kinds of neat stuff happening regarding possible dividend payouts in the form of coins. We're talking about the fungible token thing going on, all that happening. The complete e-commerceization of this company, going e-commerce. And then I read something the other day about there's something like 6,000 job openings for GameStop. 6,000 jobs are offered for GameStop. Now, That's got to tell me. That's telling me there's got to be 2,500 jobs at each of these distribution centers. That's 5,000 jobs. And then there's 1,000 other jobs that are available. I mean, GameStop is really expanding their workforce. I mean, yes, they are shutting down stores. Yes. And they're laying off people. Yes. But they're turning them over. They're shifting them over. So they're saying goodbye to the part-time workers at some of these retail stores because they're dropping their retail store numbers and they're building up their warehouse numbers. And they're shifting this business to an e-commerce business. And they're going with a lot of higher margin pieces of merchandise inside these warehouses. They're not interested in selling 3% margin product out of the warehouses. They're looking to sell 50%, 70% margin product out of the warehouses. Some of you were mentioning to me that one of the costume manufacturers, there's a costume company out of Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, that produces really expensive, high quality Hollywood type costumes. $2,500 for one of these outfits. These margins on these things are huge. It's like 50% margin. They'll be like a $1,250 margin for GameStop to flog one of these things. This is going to be offered worldwide offering of highly, highly expensive product. You sell, 5,000 of these a year. You're making some serious money here. 10,000 of them a year, whatever the number. Plus all these accessories on top of that. I mean, this company is really shifting. I really like it. I really do. Anyway, great work, Bruce, my friend. Way to go. Thank you. My LA Rams play in SoFi Stadium this year. Super Bowl is held at SoFi, and the Rams are looking to play at the Super Bowl at home. I need GameStop to moon so I can go to the Super Bowl. It's all connected. Bruce, is there any word on VACQ? It keeps going down, and I'm tempted to buy. VCAQ or VACQ, VCAQ Vector Acquisition. The merger date is August the 20th with Rocket Lab. That is coming up with Rocket Lab. So it's 10.06 right now, down 11 cents. The bargain here, absolute bargain. But it has backed off, no question. It was in the 11.60 range. Did touch 14 once, the all-time high 15.15. This is bargain city for sure, and the merger is coming. And it's a satellite launcher, and they have a backlog of orders a mile long. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Anyway, no one is going to see a Rams game or a Chargers game and think, hey, I should buy SoFi, says a Raiders fan. Well, it's not the audience in the stands. It's the television audience and the radio audience, and they're going to be bombarded with the name. As Jennifer's saying, the name SoFi is just going to be everywhere. The logo SoFi is going to be everywhere. Anyway, price range of SoFi today is tight. Possible trend coming. We're going higher on SoFi. That's where I think we're going. We're going higher. Right now, it's up 2 cents. It's not giving you a result today, but the end game on SoFi, it's going higher. Uncle Bruce for ATIP, there are 2250 puts being sold for 1970. What could go wrong if I write that option? Seems like I can't lose. Well, there you have it. 1970. If you can get 1970 for a put contract, and you have to buy the stock at 2250, 1970 is being handed to you on a silver platter up front. So you're on the hook for $2.80 on that ATIP. Yeah, I'd write that if you could. I don't know if you're going to get that price. You might not get that price on that contract. That might be the offering price, not the bid price. But yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that deal. There's nothing wrong with that deal at all. Mm-hmm. Making money. Yeah, on GameStop. Happy Monday, Bruce. I had a question about the mini market. As I was going to bed last night around midnight, I was glancing at the market numbers to be ready. And the DJIE was trading at 3 a.m. Why the face? Well, that trades in Europe, trades in Asia. It's trading 24/7. There are bankers around the world always trading. Guy in a Buffalo. Yeah, but Kev, I know, Raiders fan just making a bad football joke. GameStop getting hammered. Down $4. Oh no, the end of the world. Jonathan, thanks Uncle B and Auntie. I'm going to buy VACQ. Same AMC. That Raider Stadium looks pretty good in Vegas, doesn't it? Yeah. Uncle Bruce, what do you think of SoFi earnings results on the 12th of August will bring? I'm looking for that conference call where they talk about it. I didn't think it was the 12th. I thought it was the 20th. Or no, it's the 12th. You're right. It's the 12th. Yeah, I've been thinking between now and the 12th with the numbers coming and the conference call coming that there will be some real promotion here. I think this is the chance for SoFi management to really talk up the company and the stock. So yeah, I'm feeling good. Anyway, that's my thought. The thing about SoFi having stadium name is it brings a level of prestige to their name. That's right. I'm with you. Yeah. Bruce, can you help stop the slow bleed out? It's like someone slowly dripping lemon juice on a paper cut surrounding with the sunburn. Where's the PR? I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you there. I'm buying more GameStop, says Coyote. In the 150s, that's a big buy territory. There you go. There you go. We got the Dow up 151, and S&P up 16 points, and Nasdaq up 55. Oil down $1.36 to 72.59. Zach. Thank you, Bruce. Of course, the E is for Europe. I should have Googled that. He smacks his forehead. No problem, buddy. No problem at all. Oh, man. SoFi up a nickel. GameStop down 381. ATIP up 11.5 cents. AMC down a dime. Matterport up 45 cents. ME unchanged. Oh, my gosh. ME is back to even. Fifth wall back to even. Oh my God, another one. Vector down
Almost like the end of the month is over.
Just like the end of the month is over. Vector down 11 cents. Navsite down a penny. The Sextra now at $8.99, down 50 cents on 287,000 shares. Come on, Sextra. You can do better than that. We deserve better than that. We've been very patient here. We're a very patient group. Robinhood 36.48. Going to take a little more to get that back to 38 bucks a share. Boy, I don't know. Don't like that deal. Matterport back to 16 bucks now. 55-cent gain. Okay. Last bite of my bagel. Boy. That's good stuff. Cheers. Fabulous. Just wonderful. Well, what is this market going to bring us to this week? Where are we going to go here? We got a 158-point gain on the Dow, so we have a nice start to the day and the week. We got IBM at 142.33, up $1.37 as well. We're happy about that. The Dow all-time record is 35,192. We're at 35,087, so we're 105 away from a record high on the Dow. We're up 152 right now. And we hit the record already today. We hit the record in the first half hour of trading this morning already. So this is a record-setting day for the Dow. An intraday all-time high was set this morning on the opening. We're going higher. We're going to go up another 5,000 points on the Dow over the next year or two. Count on it. S&P, another 1,000 points. And NASDAQ, another 2,000 points. We're going to go substantially higher on these markets. The earnings revenues coming in by these massive monster companies is incredible. And it's just not going to ease up. It is really going to be substantial. Apple, by the way, last week was trading at, 35, 37 times earnings. It's now trading at 28.5 times earnings with the adjusted latest financials. That shows you how Apple is not overpriced anymore. It was overpriced at 35, 37 times earnings, but then when these earnings were released, they recalibrated the PE multiple and went, oh man, throw out the earnings from a year ago, add the earnings we just had in from the current quarter, the trailing 52-week PE multiple, 28.56. Now, estimates going forward for Apple, maybe not as robust as this last couple of quarters, because that's impossible to maintain. I bet you this thing is trading at around 2022 times future earnings, which is below the market average. So Apple is not overpriced, and it is at 145.80. There you go. IBM is trading at 24.04 earnings. It's underpriced or fairly priced. Bet you it's trading around 20 times future earnings. Home Depot right now, 23.8 times current earnings. Home Depot hits home run after home run every quarter. This is cheap stock. Believe it or not, 327 on Home Depot with a 345 high for the year. Underpriced stock for the kind of earnings they're generating. It's incredible. Okay. SoFi up 7 cents to $15.50. GameStop down $5, 156.04. Buy territory, perhaps. ATIP up 15 cents now to 356, getting a little better. AMC down 17 cents. Matterport up 45 cents to 15.90. 23andMe is up 8 cents to 7.93. Going higher. Up a dime now on Fifth Wall acquisition. Nice to see that. Now we just need Sixter to kind of join the party here. That's what we need from these guys. All right. IBM, $1.24 gain, 142.20. Very interesting moves here. Facebook, trading at 353, is trading at 26 times earnings. Not that overpriced, if it's overpriced at all. Google, 29 times earnings right now. Amazon still trading at 58 times earnings. Still very high. $3,300 a share at this point in time. Okay. All right. PE multiples say a lot about a company's stock. I'm kind of wondering, what class would you like me to run this weekend? Would you like me to run classes on more option strategies, or would you like me to run a class on how I pick my stocks? Be kind of curious. Let me know if you'd be attending any of these classes or be interested in them. What kind of class would you like me to run on? You want me to do a couple of classes on how I pick my stocks, or how to identify a good deal on a stock, or option strategies, the different types of spreads and straddles and that type of thing? But kind of curious. Let me know what your thoughts are. Kind of go from there. AMC just went positive, just turned around. The Dow's still up 140 at the moment. SoFi up 8. ATIP down up 15 cents. AMC up 7 now. Matterport up 50. 23andMe up a dime. Getting better. Okay. There you go. NTPC's think it's time for me to set a 155 buy limit on GameStop, or should I go to 152 or 152.25? Or Auntie, wait till the 150.69. Emmy got a little zit going. I'm guessing 154 floor today. We will see how to pick stocks. Nicholas says how to pick stocks. DD class, due diligence class. How to pick them and how to do due diligence. How to ID a good stock. These are the questions. These are the folks reacting to my what kind of class should we do. Is ATIP still a buy? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. 356 right now, 15 cents. Scoop this up. Let's see. Switch the classes up a little bit, Uncle Bruce. Maybe some water aerobics, maybe. How to tell Fidelity to let me engage in options trading. How about that? Option strategy, says Robert. I'd like more of those. Every day I add GameStop shares. It feels like my birthday, says Guilty. Well, I'm happy to go either way. I mean, sooner or later I'm going to do these all these classes anyway. But what would you rather see I do sooner rather than later? Should we do classes on how I pick stocks, how to do due diligence on stocks, what to look for, what fundamentals should you go after, that kind of stuff. Hey, Bruce, Gray Fox says, hey, Bruce, how is NSH looking before the 20th of October? I have some options for this at 12.5, but might drop them very soon. What are your thoughts? So you got August 20 and NSH, which is right now 996. You have 1250 calls. NSH is doing their meeting on the 13th of August. That's bad news for you because that's like within a week of your contracts expiring. So you may want to be rolling into September's or October's, and you might have to put up a little extra cash and get into 10s instead of 12.5s. Just saying. Although, it is possible that shares could do very well between now and the meeting date, but you're really putting a lot of pressure on that stock, to stick around that close. Anyway, we'll see. JC is saying we need a new class called The Art of the Bagel. There you go. The Art of the Bagel. How Bruce cooks in the kitchen. How about that? We need Bruce to give us some cooking lessons with tips from Jennifer. There you go. Yeah, man. 23andMe up a dime to $7.94. Matterport back to $16, up 55 cents. ATIP 354, up 14 cents or so. GameStop now down 450 to 156.44. SoFi up 8 cents to 15.52. Robinhood 36.60 right now. The Dow up 125, slipping a bit. S&P up 17. Nasdaq down is up 77 points. There you go. There it is. There it is. Okay. Thank you one and all for being here today. Love having you through here. Let's take a look at the Wall Street Journal. What are they saying over there in the Wall Street Journal? Any particular breaking news? Well, wait for this to pop through here. It says here that investors lost hundreds of billions of dollars investing in China stocks in July. Minimum $400 billion wiped off the value of Chinese stocks just in July alone. Unbelievable. Wow. Kooky and crazy. Headline says that U.S. stocks are being boosted by earnings growth. Well, we just talked about that a few moments ago here with the PE multiples, as these earnings are now coming out, which readjust PE multiples, bringing them down, which is a bullish thing. And all of a sudden, the markets are worth what they're trading for. Stocks seem to be worth what they've been trading at because the shares are getting ahead of the earnings from time to time with these multiples rising. Good sign there. Every little bit helps. More earnings, the better. And we're going to see more because of this infrastructure deal. This is absolutely a win-win. There was an announcement out this morning. A company called Square. They made an acquisition in Australia to acquire a company called Acquire Afterpay. To acquire Afterpay, excuse me, to acquire Afterpay. Now, Afterpay is an installment payment company, all right? And I guess what they've done is they've set up an online installment payment plan for online type orders. Or you acquire an item and you get the installment payment plan through these guys. What's also being observed by industry analysts out there is that they're beginning to suspect the traditional U.S. banks, the big boys and girls in Wall Street, are losing out to companies like Square, who are identifying the up-and-comers in the new financial world in which we're living and witnessing. And these outfits are quick, nimble. They're very quick, and they're picking off deals here, there, and everywhere else. And the big banks are stodgy and they're too old school, and they're so stuck in their ways that they're not able to recognize that the new business, the area of business they should be into, is installment pay and other online credit providers. This is where SoFi comes in. This is why I love SoFi so much. SoFi is absolutely the cutting edge of online banking. I mean, anything and everything you want to do with banking can be done through SoFi, and now you can trade stock on SoFi. Shortly, you'll be able to trade options. And I can see where SoFi will be your one-stop banker for your mortgage, home improvement loan, car, automobile loans, personal lines of credit, credit cards, if you want to do a credit card, debit cards. And don't be surprised if SoFi gets into installment financing as well, through either their own direct way or through an acquisition. Which then sets up the proverbial question that I keep throwing up, and that is, a year from now, if SoFi reaches 10, 15, 20 million customers that they have online, because you're just a click away from being a SoFi customer, without having to walk into a physical branch and actually fill out a form to open up an account. You can do it all at lunch hour on your phone or from a bathroom break. I kind of wonder if SoFi is going to be acquired by a mega monster existing bank that wants to go into the new world, or they will be acquired by a Square company like a Square that's already in the new banking world and will just want to solidify their position by taking out the competition. If SoFi grows at the pace they're growing at, and they keep doing this, and I think they will become a factor that has to be dealt with. They'll either be a buyer of other companies or they will be the acquired company. Either way, the company's going to become much larger and much more profitable, and shareholders will become that much richer. So the question for SoFi will be, just what's the upside here? How high can this upside really be? If Square came to them today and said, hey, look, I know you just got listed last month, but we're interested in taking you out. Would you guys be interested in becoming, say, Square shareholders, or we could just do a cash buy? We'll just buy you out. We'll just borrow the money to buy you out for cash. What kind of deal would we be talking about here? Would we be talking about a $35 to a $50 stock price deal right now? Would we be talking about a $45 to $75 stock price deal? The longer this goes, as each day goes by, SoFi gets larger. They are adding clients every day, 7 days a week. Every time you add a client, you can add so many dollars of value to the company on an ongoing basis, because obviously these clients, some of them are right here, I'm talking to you, you're not only using SoFi for one thing, you're using SoFi for 2 or 3 or 4 things. You may eventually find that I may find in the next year, a lot of you are using SoFi for 10 different things. Some of you for 4, some of you for 3, some of you for 1. But this company will keep growing out and becoming larger and larger. With their bank charter coming, it's only a matter of another month or so of that's coming. Look out. We've got another whole level of value. So that could take the stock to 100, 150 a share on a takeout. That's 10 times your money, 150. So yeah, anyway, Squarespace buys Afterpay for $29 billion. That is a serious acquisition. I mean, that's real. That's called real money in my book. Fascinating how this is coming together and working out. Really fascinating. Anyway, so far right now, $15.50 a share. Right now, up 6 cents a share, 5-6 cents a share. And to me, I know that this is ground zero money. Absolutely giveaway. But I can't make the market move myself. I can only tell you about it, and you have to do what you have to do. Anyway, there you go. Okay, I bought some GameStop. Made me happy. I picked up a few hundred ATIP over the last few trading days, average of 325. I can't wait till it pops back to $6-7. I'm going to start writing calls. Dealing with 50-cent drops in your stocks, SPACs, cook them with meditation and with anti-gen. Also had a few quarters. Cooking with Uncle Bruce in plain English. They hit the like thumbs for Bruce. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. What else we got here? Oh, man. I have no idea, Wally's World, on how you do this. This is not my forte. I just kind of wait for it until it's been done and don't pay much attention to it in the meantime. Mark Blue Skies, I've had some issues with Fidelity. They want you to have experience before they let you in. But how do I get experience when you don't let me play? I had to do Robinhood to learn. Don't forget, SoFi is getting that bank charter. Exactly. SoFi now up a dime, 15.54. Someone's listening to me. Mark, other companies trying to get a bank charter have had to wait around 3 years. SoFi has not been in that long. Currently have a conditional license. Yeah, we'll see when it comes out. Uncle Bruce, why can't you make the market go up? Well, maybe I just did. Maybe it's up 10 cents because of me. How about that? ATIP up 20 cents. I'm making it go up. There it is. Matterport, 15.86 up 41 cents. 23andMe, 7.92. I'm doing all I can to make these markets go up. ATIP is going to push $4 today. Wouldn't it be great? It can happen. It can happen. I don't know if it will, but it could happen. It's now trading 1.5 million shares today on ATIP. There's buying coming in here. The low of the day, 336, high of 362. Right now, 257, 258. There's where we're at on ATIP. 1554 on SoFi, up a dime. The high of the day, 1563. It would take nothing to break this new high and go much, much higher. Come on, SoFi. That would be lovely. All righty. Dow is still up 135 points. It's bouncing a little bit better again. Up 19.4 on S&P, 84-point gain on NASDAQ right now. So we've got a bit of a gain there going right at this moment. Yeah, thanks, Uncle B. Just throwing out contrarian class ideas. Watching nonsense like Coca-Cola and McDonald's go up whilst your precious GameStop goes down and SoFi still sits still. Smashing hedge fund managers' offices with Uncle Bruce. Just throwing up the contrarian ideas, everybody. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. Yep, there is the market. This is it. One step at a time, one day at a time, one trade at a time. We grind it out every day. That is what you have to do in this business. You've got to take your spots, pick your shots, and try to scoop some deals here and there. Absolutely. All right. What can I say? Okay. Thank you for being here today, everybody. I really appreciate it. Nice to have you back here today. Hope you're having a good day and enjoying it. And you're going to have a good one this week. Hopefully you will all get very wealthy this week. And you'll just tell your friends, hey, you got to watch that channel, Uncle Bruce. He is a lot of fun over there. But, one day at a time. We'll see what happens. Thank you for becoming members of this channel. Those of you who've joined up here, we have over 1,500 members of this channel. That is pretty darn cool, man. That is really cool. And they're channel members from around the world. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love it. We have 438 thumbs ups now. Thank you for that. Keep those thumbs ups coming in, you guys. Love having you about. We're approaching 360 now on ATIP physical therapy. This is going to be the high of the day here pretty soon. 362, I think we just passed it. We just touched it a moment ago. So we're at the high of the day now on ATIP, and easily $4 is within reach. Easily. It is so oversold. So oversold. Yeah. Coyote, got to edit 9 hours of footage, but it helps to listen to Uncle Bruce and keep up with everything while we're working. Let's see. Added more GameStop at 156.36. I love this dip. And looking like a down week on GameStop. Writing in the money call. GameStop calls for 159 at 1065. Well, that's money. Writing 150 for 150. I don't know what that means. In the money calls, or writing the 150s. You're writing 150s for 10. I got you. Eating ramen noodles with no spare cash to average down. Crying in the corner with Bruce and Jen. Sorry, last one, promise. Mr. Zediga, Bruce, how do you feel about further out? How about you feel about further out put contracts on SoFi? Looking at 10 puts, January 2021, $15 strike, $3 premium. Still learning these puts. Yeah, I mean you're committing to buy the stock for $12. I like that deal. Yeah, I do like that deal. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that deal at all. Committing to buy SoFi for net $12 till next January. Hey, and if the shares go up to 17, 18 in the next month or two, just that little, those contracts will drop to $2. If the stock goes to 2021, those will go down to $1. You can buy them back down there and say thank you for the $2, and I'll write something else. Yeah, absolutely. I like it. The day I decide to start sniping ATIP, it goes up before I even start. How about that? Aaron, sounds like a class in my university experience. Coyote, see, I love ramen, but I'm not complaining. There you go. 1554 on SoFi now, up about a dime. And we've got GameStop still 156.70, down 442. ATIP up 20 cents now, 361 on ATIP. Amazon down, AMC down 20 cents. Matterport is at 15.83. As 23andMe up 6 cents to 7.91. We got Fifth Wall up 23 cents to 12.63. Vector down a dime. Navsite unchanged. Sextera down 71 cents. Just confusing the heck out of me here. Vanik is up 4.35 today. The ETF for computer chips doing well. Home Depot down 52 cents. International Business Machines up $1.11. The Dow's up 136. Microsoft up 59 cents. Apple up 32. Tesla up $35 to $722. 5% gain today. Bed Bath & Beyond down 18 cents. BlackBerry up 14 cents. Royal Caribbean up 24, Norwegian up 10, Carnival up 24. They're backing off again. Royal Caribbean is now 77.10. It's starting to back off, but it's still up 22, but it was higher. Amazon up 541, Facebook down 183, Google up $11 a share to $2,715. That's where we're at right now, kids. Goldman Sachs up 750 to 382. A little better looking there. There you go. There is the market as we are watching this market do what it is doing. Go Matterport, go 23andMe, go ATIP, go SoFi. There's some stocks we'd like to see go higher. That'll help some accounts around here. That'd be kind of nice. Let's see what we can do. Oh, man. Let's go. Any thoughts on the debt ceiling not being raised? Deadline was yesterday. I'm not worried about it. This happens all the time. They can go another 6 months. They will fit this into a reconciliation bill. This will be stuffed in. It's not going to be a big brainer. It's going to go through. So worry not, my friend. The American government checks won't bounce. Shouldn't be a problem. Up 11 on SoFi, 15.55, up 12 now, 15.56. They're listening to me. They're at the beginning. They heard this guy. They heard this guy in Creston out of his living room talk about how great SoFi is going to be. They're starting to buy the stock. There you go. You're welcome, world. You're welcome. Uncle Bruce says, my pleasure. On 2.3 million traded on SoFi, up 12 cents on the day, getting better all the time. To quote a guy I really like, Mr. McCartney. There you go. ATIP at 360.61. Let's go, babies. Let's get this running to $4 and beyond. Matterport 15.82, up 37 cents. Yeah. ATIP 360 going higher. That's right, Nicholas. You got it. It's going higher. Higher and higher. Oh, yeah. I want to take you higher for sure. Cheers to all of you from Creston, British Columbia, Canada, where it's a holiday today. It is a civic holiday in Canada today. Canada is on a long weekend right now. People are heading home today.
We just call it the August holiday.
We just call it the August long weekend. In Creston, it is smoky, foggy, and humid. But that's good, and, well, 2 goods out of 3, I guess. Smoky, not so great, but we had rain and misty weather here, and so that's really dampering down the fires. Not that we have any in our town, but around here. So we're kind of hoping that as the day wears on, we get a little more rain, and it'll just help suppress a lot of these fires dramatically back, increase humidity levels, which really turns that fuel off for fires. See what happens. Anyway, we'll see what's going on. Kev Lane says Tesla was like Fisher Price for me. My first stock. There you go. Fabulous. We're up 13 on SoFi, 1557. It wants to go. You can't stop this stock. It's on fire. 1557. That's 6 cents away from the high of the day. It's coming on. Right on. ATIP. Come on, ATIP. It went 360. We need a pop here. Another pop. Go to 370. Matterport up 35 cents. And 23andMe up to 796. 23andMe has got a high of 798. Maybe we can hit $8 on this thing today and break through that without a lick of news. That'd be kind of nice. Up 23 cents on Fifth Wall, 1263. That is just about the high of the day. Bond 10,900 traded. 10,900 traded. It's up 23 cents a share. Wow. That's amazing. Considering it's a $12 stock, that's 2% move on 10,000 shares. Yeah. Nothing for sale over there. Nothing. Yeah. Interesting stuff. All right. IBM up $1.02. 141.98. That's a tough one to crack. Apple up 32 cents though. Microsoft up 71. So we're looking good there. All right. Got a 250 gain on Robinhood, 37.73, pushing $38. They're going to make news if they can hit it. They can hit 38 or more. That's going to make news on the news networks. High of the day, 37.75. Right now, 37.73. 7.8 million traded. There's buying coming in on Robinhood. I don't know why anyone would buy this stuff. Management is inept. The corporation is run like a bag of crap. And they are, I think, undercapitalized, even with a $2 billion raise. But that's just me. I don't know what I'm talking about. If I were managing billions, I guess I'd be a genius, I suppose. Yeah, okay.
Have you guys talked about what happens on Thursday?
What happens on Thursday?
Well, it's like the first week of August.
Yeah.
It's the Hall of Fame game. Steelers against the Cowboys. Bring out the gold jackets, man.
It's the Hall of Fame game. That's not as important as the fact that
Ohio.
Jen is a Steeler fan, and they're playing the Cowboys for the Hall of Fame game. That's a preseason game, isn't it?
It's the first game of the preseason. It's like the Hall of Fame game, and then preseason comes.
Right, that's right. So Thursday, Steelers are playing football.
Yeah.
We're going to go into practice. We're going to chew gum, and we're going to hit each other. Oh, by the way, we're out of gum. So
Jake, we only got 2 jobs. It's gonna be awesome. Get to see the new kids on the block.
Big Steeler fan.
It's gonna be awesome.
Huge. Don't mess with this girl. Vilbuzz is saying, how about them Cowboys? Oh, that's not what you want to be saying here. Oh, you don't want to be saying that.
We'll talk on Friday.
Pick nose. That'll be a snooze fest. Well, the games usually are a snooze fest, but it's still football.
It's football.
It's football,
They're
Jim.
not really hitting each other, but it's football.
Damn it, Jim says the preseason is terrible. Pick nose says Steelers should stay on TikTok. Mark Blue Skies, Cowboys 100, Steelers 2. Oh, man.
No.
23 killer, yeah, Elf. Go Browns.
I'm a big girl. I can take these little rodents around me. It's fine.
NTPC says, I love these exchanges, she says. Shaky Frywood. Go Bagels. Bengals.
But, yeah.
Look, being a Cowboy fan is its own punishment, says Bill was. Yeah. Uncle Bruce says, Jen make you wear Steelers gear for the games, or do you have to sit in the corner? No. Jen goes to the back of the house where the bedroom is, closes everything off, and watches her game in private. Does not take phone calls. Has a shrine set up and watches her beloved Steelers. I hope they all make the home run, says Jezak. Guillotti, I'm buying puts on the Steelers because I'm bullish. Or buying puts, that's their bearish. Tony, green and gold, everyone else versus everyone else. I missed the Iron Curtain, says John Anderson.
Green and gold, Aaron King decided to come back and sign a contract. I think he's in with the Pack for 2 more years. I think it was 2 more years.
Jen's Mam Cave. Jen's Mam Cave. Yeah, there you go.
That's what I got.
That's what she's got in the back there. Her Mam
I
Cave.
just don't share well. You know.
Not sharing well.
Not sharing well.
Bacon. Where's the love for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Not in this house.
Not in this house, she says. Not here. No.
Even though they were Stiegels at one time. Yeah, it's the dumbest name ever.
My broker asked my permission to borrow my ME share at 12% interest. I know it's to short them, but money is money. Wally's World, Jen's favorite Steeler of all time is?
Oh, that's too hard.
It's like children. Name your favorite child. Iron Curtain was the border in Europe. You mean Steel Curtain? That's right, Steel Curtain.
That's right. Feel the steel. Baby.
Kev, Auntie Jen, I don't really know how. Jen, I really don't know you, but you are awesome, says Kev Lane. Cloaked says, my girlfriend just shouted, go Pack, go for Jen.
Go Pack. Well, it's hard. That was our last Super Bowl was against the Pack. And the Pack's always been my second favorite, so it was a hard Super Bowl.
Did you hear yelling from the bedroom during the heat of the game? Oh, yeah. I hear commentary.
We don't let children in the house.
We don't let children in the house. Cowboys versus the Washington sports team does not have the ring to it that it did under the old name. There you go.
Yeah.
David Rowland, the Bears, Tony, Cloaked, Rock on, Shaky Frywad. It's not Heinz Ward. I know he's up there on our list. He's got to be up there. Oh, yeah, he's up there.
Yeah.
Bill, I watched the Super Bowl with Franco Harris a couple of years ago.
See?
Okay.
It's different, different years. You have how can you not love Troy Polamalu?
Yeah, Troy.
James Harrison.
Tony,
The
David.
Bus.
The Bus. David Rowland still sucked. Coyote, how can you not like the Packers? I mean, really. Mike Sullivan, Bruce, do you have an antenna to pick up American TV stations? We have cable.
I have the NFL package.
We have the NFL package here. Oh yeah, mine screams at the TV while standing 2 feet from the TV. Tony, Yodi,
Yeah.
Exactly. Jay, change to the Washington Bagels. That's what they should change. They should call themselves the Washington Bagels. 361 on ATIP, up 20 cents. That's about almost the high of the day. How about that? Yay. How can you like the Pack? Charles Martin says, pickled nose. Snake Pliskin. I tell my Ohio friends all the time that they got off easy with the Cleveland Guardians. The Washington football team might well read to be determined. Shaky Frywad, being a Bengals fan is how I can't love these guys. Jake, they should be the Washington Georges. The George Washingtons, maybe? Bill, Jen, I meant that I actually watched with Frank O'Hara sitting beside me. I have several good friends who are former NFL players, says Bill. Got a reaction on that one. What? Uh-huh. Yep. Anti-PC says, Jen, I'm the same. They can probably hear my potty mouth self-yelling from the street.
I'm helping them.
That's right. And Snake says, the Washington Denzels. Go to...
Yes. Please let them call themselves
the
that.
Washington Denzels.
I love that.
Got me on that one. Washington football team reminds me of the early 20s football teams that would name themselves after their owners. Browns, laugh out loud. Kev Lane, we have multiple...
Packers. It's the Acme Packing Company.
Acme Packing Company. We have multiple Steelers bars here in Sacramento. Why the face? The Steeler fans are everywhere. That's right. Baking friends don't let friends become Browns fans. Larry Titus is laughing about that one. We went to a football game, Jen and I, several years ago in Phoenix. We went and saw a Phoenix home game, the Cardinals, and it was the Steelers in town. And we went to the stands. I went to the game, and of course, Jen was all decked out in Steeler memorabilia. And got into the stadium, sat down in the seats. Steelers scored a touchdown out of 65,000 fans. 45,000 erupted, all Steeler fans. The towels were going and cheering, and the Steelers won that game. And
Everybody's chanting and singing on the way out.
Cardinals and the Steelers, they kind of shook hands at midfield. You know how it goes, the after game thing, and then the Cardinal fans moved their way off the field. The Steeler team was the last team to leave the field because they were waving at all their fans. And everybody knew where the Steelers would come to. The one corner of the stadium is where they would come out. So about 20,000 of the 45,000 all congregated around this one corner of the stadium. And it was just, you couldn't hear yourself think. It was so noisy.
It was a home game.
It was a home game. The word is that the expression is the Steelers travel well. They travel well. David says, I was in Vegas for Super Bowl VI, Atlanta versus Patriots. There was a rioting in the streets and hotels. Watched the guy lose his front teeth. Oh, my gosh. Or is that 51? That's 51. You go to, yes, exactly like the Packers. That would be great, says Anti-PC. David, I was in Vegas for Super Bowl LI. That's got to be 51. There's a writing. That's the one. You have to, okay. Anti saying hi. 2000 Super Bowl baked. I hope he's found them. I hope he found his teeth. I saw on ESPN that Karen Rogers came back from getting a pumpkin spice latte.
Is that what it was? He went out for a pumpkin spice latte and he came back to a new contract. He went out so he could host Jeopardy.
That's right.
He hosted Jeopardy for a week.
Wow. David Rowland, there were riots in New Orleans for the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl, but everyone was celebrating Atlanta choking. Now, we were in Vegas when that game was held, the Atlanta Patriots Super Bowl, and we had been invited by the Orleans Hotel and Casino to attend the showing of the game in their big conference room, and that was really something. That was really all complimentary, including food and drinks, and that was really cool. Met some really cool people in that room who were there every year. Anyway, David, lots of people won and lost, lots of money that day. Yes, Gregory, thank you, Greg, for this donation. Holding one call, AMC, August 20, expiring 60. It was $60. Should I take a loss on this? Meaning to get rid of it all, roll it over? I prefer to roll it. You're long a call on AMC, $60. Well, you may want to get into something a little closer to the market, like maybe 40, but up to you. Hey, Uncle Bruce, I got some Apple calls for $160 at $5. I'm currently down though. They're until December, so I'm gonna wait. Shouldn't have. I should average down or maybe get 155s, 150s now. I see. So you've got a 160 Apple call, and the stock at the moment is let's get that up here. It's now 146.46. You got them until December, so you got plenty of time. So should I look at getting an averaging down on these, or should maybe I get 55s or 50? Well, if you can afford it, if you can afford a 150, I'd be grabbing that for sure. Closer in, the better the delta. In other words, the closer to the money, if the stock goes up $1 instead of the option going up 30 or 40 cents every dollar, it would go up 80 cents every dollar. So the closer into the money, the more effective you'll get a reaction and a move. Anyway, I brushed Tony. What? I brushed Tony Palomano's hair once. Are you jealous, Jen? Says Gregory. There you go. Nick says, I'm a Falcons fan. I'm sorry. Canada allows NFL games to be broadcast. Does it bump national curling competitions off the air?
Curling only competes in the winter.
In the winter.
And I can tape curling.
And we can tape curling.
And watch it on like Monday.
Yeah, she can tape a
curling. Dedicated to football.
Sunday's football. Well, during the season, Sunday's football, Monday's football, Thursday's football.
And the
occasional Saturday. And once in a while the odd Tuesday. So other than that, it's wide open week.
I didn't have to do anything.
Anti-PC says, my condolences to Nick Tapp for being a Falcons fan. Coyote, growing up, Troy Polamalu made me want to play safety so bad.
I know, right?
Rob says, thanks, Uncle B. You got it, buddy. Oh, man. Where are we at here with our markets? We're up 129 on the Dow. I'm just about done the show here. Coming up to 3-hour mark here. Thank you for being here, everybody. 11-cent gain on SoFi right now. GameStop still down 4.92. ATIP up 16.5, 17 cents. AMC down 62 cents. Matterport up 26 now. ME up 18 cents to 803. Like 8 went through 8 like a hot knife through soft butter. Right through 23andMe to 803. It's on its way back. Or is it? Fifth Wall up 21 cents. Vector down a dime. Navsite unchanged. Sixterra down 65 cents. Come on, Sixterra. Vanik up 421. IBM up $1.10. So, we're better off there. But anyway, there you have it. Thank you for being here this morning, everybody, for the first 3 hours. That went pretty fast. Look forward to seeing you this afternoon at 3 o'clock. And then tonight, I'm on twice on Traveling with Bruce. We'll be on tonight at 7 o'clock for sponsor members and 8 o'clock for the big show on TWB tonight, Traveling with Bruce, talking about cruise ships and traveling. We had some positive cases show up on one of the cruise ships. So we're going to see how that all plays out. Oh, my gosh. Unreal. With baseball, every day is game day. Tony P was like, what are you doing to my hair, bro? Dang, the morning show flew by.
Just making sure it's real.
Damn it, Jim. I remember when Ben Roethlisberger was hit by a VW Beetle and bruised his arm, however, totaled the car. Snake, Tony, Troy P, and Ed Reed were guys you didn't have to coach. You just put them out there and say, do whatever you want. Just go. John Van, SoFi climbing nicely. Let's go. SoFi up 14 cents right now, 15.58. Go ME, says John Van. It's up 31 cents. No, it's not. Matterport's up 31 cents. It's up 19 cents, though, to 804. It's going. Blair says, see ya. We'll see ya. 15.58 on SoFi. Let's go, SoFi. Let's rock it to the moon, baby. Make my viewers filthy, filthy rich. Yeah. Make them much more wealthier than you already are. Come on. ATIP up 20 cents. 361 again is coming on. Matterport, 15.75. Come on, you stocks. Get going. You've been dilly-dallying around long enough. Bruce, can you grow your hair out like Troy Polamalu? Jen would be so pleased. Oh, yeah. Jay, Bruce, don't hate me. I'm a Giants fan. Oh, you poor bugger. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Whew. Rough times. I have a good friend of mine that's a Giants fan, and it's been pretty tough for her, too. John, I was 2 blocks from Big Ben when he crashed his motorcycle. You would have thought Pittsburgh died that day. I can just imagine. Yeah, I can just imagine. Ben has kind of matured a bit since those days. His early days were...
He's got better handlers.
Yeah, he's got better handlers here. Mark Blue Skies, I'm here. Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah. SoFi up 14 cents, up 15. 15.59 on SoFi. ATIP up 19 cents to 360. Matterport 15.76 up 31 cents. 23andMe 803 surging with an 18-cent gain. Surging out of control. Absolute buy wave. We're going higher. How about that? Let's get us some green here. Fifth Wall up 21 cents. Man, oh man, we need some movement here. IBM up $1.05 to 142.01. That crazy IBM. 119-point gain on the Dow, 18 on S&P, 88 on NASDAQ. We're down 289 on oil, 71.06 coming down. July 4th was so long ago. Oh, yeah. Can you imagine how much Troy hair routine costs? 4 or 5 shares of GameStop a week. John Van, Terry Bradshaw had to have a talk with Ben after that. Mark Blue Skies, here's an idea. Why doesn't everyone just buy GameStop and then we'll moon and then we can buy whatever we want? Why don't we just do that?
That's right.
There you go. Just run it to a couple thousand shares. That's it. It's so simple. Easy solutions to complex problems. Really, I mean, when you think about it, it's all we know. Anyway, JC, New York Giants. Me too. Lived in Cali my whole life, but always liked the Giants and the Mets. Coyote, Troy got hair sponsorships that had hair pays for itself 10 times over. Yeah. I am sure. All right. Well, I got to get going. 363 and 364 on ATIP now, up 22 to 23 cents. Looks like the high of the day on ATIP, you guys. Maybe it'll reach $4 after all. 364 now on 1.9 million shares traded on your ATIP. Going higher. Bargain hunters are coming in. and they're running out of stock to buy. It's running out, so this is a good sign. Okay, Matterport's still up 20 cents, and 23andMe up 13 cents right now. Okay, I want to get full moon so bad, says Austin. Dave Brown, those are tough years. Kev, see y'all later in the power hour. Good luck today. Thanks, Uncle B and Jen. You got it. His hair makes money, and bald guys get jealous. There you go. Oh, Lordy. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. We're up 26 cents on the ATIP, 366, 367 on ATIP, 1559 on SoFi. These two are moving up a little bit right now. I'm happy to see this. ATIP is pushing the high today, 366, 367 right now. Good to have this going on. Couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of investors. My viewers, yeah, go ME, go Matterport, go ATIP, go SoFi. Just don't ask questions. Just go. All right. Aaron, I'm rocking back and forth in your chair trying not to look at the ticker with Uncle B. Okay, one last look. John Anderson, thanks, everybody. Thank you, guys. All right, I'll see you this afternoon at 3 Eastern with an hour to go. Let's see how high these markets wants to go and take us to upper levels. And we'll see if we can get you richer and richer and richer. And in the meantime, you take care out there, and we'll see you real soon. Go Stonks team. I haven't been this happy since I watched Jessica Alba swim into the blue. There you go. All right, guys. See you later. Bye for now.